Was that for Halloween then? Links in the WhatsApp. Yep. 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 Oh, it turns around for Kim. Turns around for turns around for the looker. Yeah. Isn't he? Yeah?
On one of my many podcasts.
You've had more podcasts than we've had episodes.
Almost. Fucker.
I'll get it. This we're all early. We're all ready to go.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I take it Webster can't wake up enough, huh?
Now, although interesting enough, I noticed on my Skype it still had it won't go out to more than 4 sections.
Yeah.
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 So,
Can you
Robin,
change it
you've
up
been
by making
reduced.
a
You've
screen?
been reduced to a little circle.
Yeah, that's the same with me. Robin got fucked on
Yeah.
my screen.
Yeah, Robin got reduced on mine as well.
It's like being at the drive-thru.
I have tightened my sphincter.
Okay.
Well,
Jason,
thanks for sharing.
Oh, do you know what? You know what? We're doing baby trumps, Ken. We should do podcast host trumps. That should be. What would be the criteria? So would it be what looks and what else? Well, what did they turn up or how many times they say beard or not beard, tank top or not? What else? What else could we?
I'm not in a tank top.
Length of hair.
I
Length
could
of
have
hair.
easily worn a tank top, by the way.
I'm in shock.
You should have.
It's
Yeah.
not.
cold
Overcompensate.
here.
See how much they overcompensate by the size of their mic and all their equipment around them. Who would score highly on that one? Greg, what's all that stuff around you there? Are you overcompensating?
I'm not. I have minimalist earbuds. Minimalist earbuds.
Very
I'm not
big
wearing these
gunny
giant
stuff,
tin cans.
Yeah.
Cheeky bastards.
Diggy, diggy, diggy. Oh, bless his heart. Podcast host trumps. So Rooster Teeth are doing their Extra Life next weekend, and every $250,000 they raise, they have got a steamroller, and they're going to run over something every $750,000. I don't really know why. My son was telling me this and telling me this sounds like a great thing, but I don't understand.
Nor do I. Happily because you're eating while you're talking, but mostly
Uh-oh.
just because I don't understand the
Oh,
concept.
that's a cardinal sin.
Oh yeah, there's another.
Is
that's
it
another
at
kind
least
of-
chocolate?
Yeah,
At least chocolate.
it's
I might have to just crack out the Werther's original halfway through the show.
it's like a miniature version of the ones that you can stab yourself with. The Toblerone, you know the one you buy it and
Oh, yeah.
you eat into it and it goes up through your nose and bursts into
Yeah.
your brain. You buy it, quickly. These are miniature versions which are safe. The big airport ones are deadly. Deadly they are.
Keep that under consideration.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful at the airport with the choke.
Mark, how are we feeling at this point?
We're
Shooting
live.
it.
We're streaming. Just as audio, I've got the Keep Calm starting soon screen up and they can hear us, so I'm ready when you are.
Well, hot
I
diggy.
suppose it's that's important. I suppose we could keep him in suspense for 2 more minutes and start actually right
Yeah,
on time.
I'm trying to wait for Jason Johnson's speak pipe thing, but it's not come through yet.
Oh boy, you gotta admit that was fun.
That ain't me.
No, that would be from Cars.
You suck.
The best part about that sound effect is we can add to it at any point in time.
It's becoming a thing. I like it.
Yeah,
He just taps my hide.
like I'm podcasting with Nicole.
Okay.
I've got what Gary will like.
Not making a decision is a big decision.
I love that one.
Yes,
Actually, most of Negan's stuff was always just fucking awesome.
it still is pretty good. He's
Oh,
not
tonight's
dead yet.
Walking Dead, right?
Yep.
Tonight is Walking
Yeah.
Dead.
I
Rick
will watch.
Grimes' last episode.
I will watch.
Only
Is it going to
just
be
watched
3
episode.
hours and like 20 minutes of actual show? They've
yeah.
been known to do that.
Yeah. Well, I guess this all got leaked back in July.
Yeah.
And so they decided because the leak was out there and the leak was actually like they picked the actual episode it was happening to, so there was like no way they could avoid it. So they just decided to turn it into a marketing event. So they started promoting it as, the last event to help draw interest, I guess.
I'd love to
To
keep
be honest
talking,
with
but
you-
it looks like it's 4 o'clock, huh?
Yeah.
Want me to shut up?
It is.
To be honest,
Yes.
with you, I'm not that sad he's going to be honest. We need a bit of change to it. It's getting a bit stale
Maybe
now,
we
isn't
should start 1 minute late.
it? What? Not on my watch, bitches.
Yeah.
Go, Mark, go,
Wow.
go.
Right, we're ready. Oh,
I don't
it's that
know.
long since I've done this. I don't know how to do it.
No.
Intro.
Press the red button.
Let me get me intro.
Hold on, hold on. Are we starting now?
We're starting,
now.
I think, now.
It's going now.
Okay. Hold on. Is it not? Is it not? Hold on, just a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on, I'm not ready yet. No, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So, okay, let's get this
Don't
right.
take your shirt off.
We're starting now.
Oh, come on. Wait, what?
Okay.
Right,
All right, we're starting
going now.
Okay.
And I'm not stopping this time.
For you, Christopher Matthew.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started. I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to a very special episode 500 of the Overseas Connection podcast. Today is November 4th, 2018, and I am just one of your humble hosts today on the podcast, Greg DeLacy, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter, and Murphy's Law on Xbox Live. Maybe I might do a game change on PSN. I don't know. A name change. I heard I can do that these days. Won't nearly be bad and affect any past games at all. Nothing like that. Nope. All right. Let's talk about who's else in the room for this awesome epic show. Starting with the newest to the oldest, we have my least favorite Broncos fan, but my favorite New York friend, Gary DeFelice.
Well, that was nice. It is a shame that you called me old, but I think actually maybe Mark might be older than me by a day
Oh, no.
or two.
Oh. I'm younger than Greggles.
Oh, you fucker. Maybe I am the oldest. Phil and I might be close.
Also on the
I'm way off.
podcast,
Yeah, you must be.
the young and spry Phil Olson.
Good evening. How is everyone this evening?
Excellent.
Yeah,
Good.
pretty,
Good.
pretty flat.
Fired.
Fantastic to be here. Episode 500.
Another fucking show.
Oh, shut up.
Christ all fucking money.
Oh,
This
Boy,
shit
good to have
again.
you on, Phil. Good to have you on.
Mute him.
Yeah, pretty much. Also on the show, the lovely Miss Kim Woods.
Hi. Congratulations on 500, by the way. I can say that because I wasn't here for all 500, so, you know.
You are welcome, and thank you for that. Welcome to the show. I think there's going to be like 500 more, so you'll be around for plenty more.
Woohoo! I'm up for it.
Also on the show, Junior in charge of the decks today, Mr. Mark Wright.
Hello, Greg. Hello, everyone. Yeah, same as Kim. Congratulations, Greg, on 500 episodes.
Who knew we had that many tank tops, right?
Yeah,
You know, I'm
massive
a little
milestone.
disappointed. I'm not seeing everybody in tank tops, myself included, but that's
Oh,
okay.
we did
That's
we
all
did
right.
that for 400, didn't we?
That's
I
yes,
know.
we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
I honestly don't think I own one. I'd have to go buy one.
It's a shame we did the surprise show on 400 instead of 500, but yeah, we can't do a surprise, can we? It won't have the same effect. But
Exactly.
was a
Won't have the
special
same
show.
effect.
Yeah.
I would like to point out, though, I very much did not appreciate seeing you, Robin, anybody else that was male in a tank top, but Kim and Nicole, thank you very much.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
As Dan would say,
Also-
please more.
Yes. Last and certainly not least on the podcast, we have Mr. Robin Tate.
Hey, hello, Greg DeLacy, 500 years old, and he looks every day of it. Wow, fantastic. Do you know, 500 of anything's an awful lot. I mean, if you had like 500 visits to the, gum clinic, you would be well clear by now. But you haven't, or have you? Anyway, look,
It's
it's
500
great.
times to the gum clinic.
500 episodes. Congratulations, Greg. I am very, very happy to be part of this podcast in the small, humble way that we all are. And we love you, Greg. Greg, if it was candy, we would be licking you right now. Nom, 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 nom.
Not after last night's photographs.
Nom.
Not
If
all
you
that
were
thing
pizza,
over
we
and
would be pumping our face all over you. Your pizza face all. Oh, put your. Oh. If
Putting
you
that
were
pepperoni in my mouth.
If you were brandy balls, I'd have your brandy balls in my mouth. It would be fantastic. We love you, Greg. You're brill. You're like the big uncle that doesn't abuse you. We love you so much. We'd like to wear your underwear only after it's washed. Yes. So congratulations. Aren't you lucky to have such friends as us? Isn't it brilliant?
Yeah, so
This is the last episode of Overseas Connection podcast during
spur of the moment, final episode of the Overseas Connection podcast. So two things. One, thank you, Robin, very much. That was a lovely. I don't really know what to think of that, but that was lovely, regardless. Also, these big, Hallmark moment podcasts, 500, 400, they kind of turn into a little bit This Is Your Life, Greg DeLacy episodes, and I'm not sure I'm okay with that. It kind of feels like a retirement episode or something. Every time I'm like, what am I supposed to go off and die now? I don't know.
Take the fucking hint.
He's waiting for the gold watch.
You guys have been trying to get rid of me for 100 episodes now since the last one. No, it is fantastic to be celebrating 500 episodes. I mean, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is a monumental achievement. I never really thought we would make it to 500, let alone 400 or 300. I mean, hell, 100 was a big accomplishment back in the day. So getting there, it's exciting. But very honestly, and this is something we'll talk a little bit about more in a bit, but I wouldn't be at 500 if it wasn't for you guys. The podcast team that we have now in place is what has been able to get me to where we are. If I didn't have you guys stepping up as much as you have been, we likely would be well short of 500 at this point. We probably would be, more like some of Gary's failed podcasts.
You'd also be divorced. Probably.
Also divorced, yes.
Yeah.
It is an accomplishment, surely on my end, but also just as much an accomplishment by all of you. So thank you to the team. And I mean that sincerely.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Yep.
All right. So thanks for joining the show. That's it. We don't have anything else to say or talk about. Listen.
On 501.
On to 501. No, if you were listening to this right now and you're tuning in live, that's because we broadcast every week, 11 p.m. in the UK. No, wait, that is certainly not right. 9 p.m. in the UK, 3 p.m. on the West Coast. Could be 1 p.m. on the West Coast. Could be 4 p.m. on the East Coast. I'm pretty sure Robin got in there and did that. Typical Robin Tate.
No, I copied and pasted, but mostly from an old show notes.
Reykjavik. I didn't do that.
Mark then. All right.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
Wow.
And apparently, I'm going to say 8 p.m. or maybe 7 p.m. if you're in Iceland. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, but look, we podcast every Sunday live. And it really is 1 p.m. on the West Coast, 4 p.m. on the East Coast, 3 p.m. in Central Time. Don't want to forget about that. And also on the UK time frame, it is 9 p.m. in the UK every weekend. So tune in, join the chat. That's
at 9 o'clock in the UK every weekend. It's 9 o'clock. Yep.
Yes, every weekend. It doesn't change at all.
I gotta ask, Bongo, are you drinking tonight? I mean,
just high on life. I am, yes, but I mean, this is my first sip, but I'm just high on life, man.
This is a little more craziness than normal.
Yeah.
This is me. No. This is tame.
But hey, also an important thing to kind of get out of the way before. We are on twitch.tv/OC Podcast. We are on mixer.com/OC Podcast. We are also on youtube.com/Overseas Connection Podcast. We just decided to make that last one longer. I don't know why.
I keep telling you it's YouTube's fault. It won't let me do anything shorter. Some fucker stole it.
I just like pointing it out. So find us live every Sunday. And if you can't, we are on iTunes. We are on Stitcher. We are on Google Play Music, whatever. Basically, if you have a podcast app, you can find us. Sign up, get the feed going, subscribe up. It's a free podcast, so there's there's no downside to listening to us, other than we might make you slightly stupider. All right. I want to shout out some Twitch followers. We've got Bry305, Blue Baru, and Fletch90. Thank you for following us on Twitch.
Brian, and Daniel. I don't know Bry, but the Blue Baru is Brian, and Fletch is Daniel. Flecky.
You know, we suckered those two into following us, so hopefully we'll get a few more. Hey, Antonio Phillips, happy birthday! You turned 17 3 days ago, and you 21 in 4 days.
Oh, Antonio! Antonio is our little project. It's been fantastic. We have known Antonio since he was yeah, he's not much bigger now, but since he was 11, and coming to EGX or Eurogamer as it was with his father, and with his father coming up to us lads, way back then. That's what is it? That's 10 years ago now. Yeah, about that 10, and coming along, and every year he's got bigger and better, and now he's a dude with his own podcast and all. So fantastic!
Legitimately,
happy birthday, Antonio! Making movies. He's making porn, but it's movies. He's doing what he wanted to do.
Well,
it's hard to get into.
Only if you're gigantic.
Hey, hold on. EGX. So Peter Chin wanted us to do Baby Shark.
Oh God.
No.
He's gonna pay you.
And I said we'd do it for Extra Life for $20.
I've got the music.
I'm not doing it.
Money first,
for
Money
$20 to Extra Life. Come on.
To whose Extra Life?
Oh, hey.
To VG Hub. Not the bloody ginger balls.
No good. Yeah, that does me no good. That's going to benefit Gary.
He's going to pay it to you.
Okay. Well, he'll give 5 to you, and 5 to Kim, and 5 to Gary, and 5 to Phil or Mark.
I think at this point, Robin, it is only fair that you should lead Baby Shark.
Fucking right, no problem, man. I am that man.
Are we doing it?
We're doing this live right now.
Yeah, but see, how are we going to do the cameras? Peter, Mark, how are we doing that? You have to work that one out.
I think we should just focus in.
You need to do
Robin.
a screen grab of everybody now. Make a new screen with just the 4 in it there. Capture display. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll get it. We'll get it. So I'm going to teach us the actions while Mark's doing that. So Baby Shark is your fingers like this. Baby Shark, okay? See?
Hold the phone. Peter Chin also has commented. Apparently, it is his birthday today as well. He's very angry right now that he did not get a birthday shout out. So
he'll get a birthday shout out for another $20.
Happy birthday, Pete.
No. $20 for birthday shout out.
Robin,
25.
Robin, just calm down. Calm down. We will take Pete's money gladly for Baby Shark Do, which you will perform. We will also give him a birthday shout out because look, 60 is a monumental. That's a milestone birthday in and of itself. So Pete, happy birthday, you old timer.
I'm impressed.
It's amazing. You don't have nearly as much gray hair as I thought you were going to have at 60. So congratulations.
Okay, someone older than me.
Baby Shark,
right.
Mummy Shark, Daddy Shark, Granny Shark.
I'm going to try synchronize the video.
Isn't this Granny Shark?
Grant. Yeah, she's got no teeth.
Look like this.
Then we all go on hunt, and then we run away, and then it's all over.
What are you
Thank
doing?
God, I'm just tiny on the video.
Yeah, me too.
How'd you get so lucky?
Are you ready? This is for $20 for Extra Life, everybody. So, and it'll be distributed somehow or another. So, you ready, Mark?
I'll count you in. 3, 2, 1.
Baby Shark, come on, guys. Do this, Baby Shark.
You better pay. You better pay, Pete.
I want money.
Mommy Shark. Mommy Shark.
I just do whatever Robin does.
Mommy Shark.
You can tell I've done this with my granddaughter a few times, can't you?
This is honestly a low point in this podcast.
I hate you all.
You do realise, Pete, this is the first time they've let me play this on full.
What's this then?
It's ridiculous.
Kim in the barn.
That's
Oh,
My shark is drunk.
Vogue.
oh no.
All right. That's great. I want my $20.
Right?
Me and Robin enjoying this too much.
Is this over? How long is this song?
I think the most important thing to note is right now it doesn't seem like our stream is live.
Again.
I'll only do it again if Kim puts on a tank top.
All right.
I'll donate $50 if he does it.
Gary,
without a tank top on.
now you are my best friend.
Make it rain.
What about me?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank
Right, let's
you
go.
for that nonsense.
Thanks, Pete. Happy birthday,
dear.
buddy.
Yeah,
Such a shame Nicole missed out on that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, she
I'm
would love
sure she is very, very upset about missing out on
Oh,
that.
I'm
But
sure.
She can wear her tank top next week, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure half the people listening to this podcast now are very, very upset that they had
Where
to
were
listen
we
to
on
that.
this very serious evening?
We're
So
probably
where are
just
we
being
again?
banned on YouTube now.
Yeah. All
Copyright.
right. So let's talk before we dive into because we're okay. Let's reset the table here. There will be no more Baby Shark Do. There will be some conversations around favorite moments from the past years. But before we get into that, and before we actually talk to a few people, we do want to just talk about some video game stuff because we
That's
do
not
play
me.
video games. I know who that is. Fired.
Short version.
Yep, short version. There you go. All right, so look, Kim, I want to actually focus on you real quickly because you just got done playing, Extra Life. You did your full 24 hours straight. You didn't take any breaks to go watch your children play sports games or anything like that, and have a real easy time of playing over a 24-hour period of time. You did the full 24 hours in one fell swoop. So you're the only person we really need to talk to at this point about Extra Life.
Okay.
Well done, Kim.
Thank you.
Well done, Kim.
The best part is Gary was so paying attention to whatever else was going on around him. He has
Right?
no
Missed all the
clue what was
insults.
just said.
No idea.
I heard Kim did Extra Life.
That's right.
All right, no. But Kim, so real quickly, how did Extra Life go? What games did you play during Extra Life?
Actually, it went fairly well. I was kind of boring this year. I played Red Dead 2 on the Xbox and PlayStation, and I also played Overcooked 2, and that was pretty much my Extra Life this year. So
Wow.
Okay.
That's one more game than Rich Webster played.
That's true.
He played Red Dead for the whole 24 hours.
You know what? I can see why he did though.
Yeah,
'Cause I probably could have done the same thing too, but Overcooked was good. So and it kept me awake because Sarah, I conned. Well, I didn't con her. I told her I'd play play Overcooked with RCGC, and she helped me stay up. Well past when I thought I was gonna stay up. So it was good, and we were trying to do one of the little areas, and I swear to God, for like 15 minutes, all we could do was giggle because I don't know what happened. She kept falling off the platform, and I don't know. It was just hilarious, and I was tired. And you know how you get when you're tired, and everything just seems funny. So yeah, it was good. So yeah, that's Extra Life this year. If you're still looking to donate, I'm still looking for donations. So I'm
Well,
not
there you
quite
go.
200 yet. So
Pete Chin, maybe you can make the donation to Kim's page. There we go. That would be, I think, the appropriate thing.
Cool.
So Red Dead 2, we're going to talk about that momentarily. I'm gonna move over to Mr. Gary DeFelice. You also took part in Extra Life, albeit an abridged version of Extra Life. I mean, I'm going to game for 10 hours. I'm going to take a break and go watch my kid get his ass handed to him in football. Then I'm going to come back and play more Extra Life, and then maybe take another break or two. How many breaks did you take?
I take a
Like
couple.
5?
I eat.
7?
I shower. I brush my teeth.
Yes,
you
I did a
showered?
brush my teeth thing. I
Wait,
remember
wait,
that.
hold on. Let's back this up.
I don't think he understands
eating-
the concept of this, does he?
Eating, I get. And the brushing the teeth is a good strategy when you take a break to help
It
wake
is.
yourself
It
up.
is.
Yep.
But like the full-on shower, I mean,
Do you want me to go to the football game unshowered? I mean, what are you, crazy?
yeah. Just let the stink be out there, man. And
Terrible.
people, like, when they give you the look, just believe me, extra life.
Yo, give me $10.
Donate and I'll squirt some deodorant on.
Yeah. Donate or I will sit next to you with no deodorant.
Every extra life I've done, there's always been a kids sporting event, and this year was actually the first year I had nothing. There was no soccer games, no football, and then my son's team made the playoffs, so that went out the window. But you know, you got to do these things. It's watching a game. It's not that different. And the people that gave me the money, you know, thanks guys.
Thanks. No. I like to give you a difficult time, Gary,
Of course.
just because that's the nature of our friendship. But so, what did you play in the brief period of time that you did play games?
Well, the game I probably played the most was Forza Horizon 4.
Okay.
It's a nice, kind of easy, sit back, relax kind of game. There's a lot of noise going on all of a sudden here as soon as I talk. That's good.
Of course. They time that. They do.
They did. They're beautiful. What else did we play? We played a little Fumu. Remember Mr. Fumu? Fraser?
Yeah, Fraser
we
Morris.
played,
Yeah.
We played some PUBG on
Yeah.
the PC.
Possible game
And-
of the year in somebody's circles right now.
Could.
Yeah.
What else did I play? PUBG. I played Hellblade. I bought that
Such a good
cheap.
game.
Oh, and it was funny. Gary had said put on the headphones,
Yes.
and wow, like I just hear voices around. I started playing that, and then
That's before he started the game.
What's that?
That's before
Yeah.
you started the game.
Yep. I hear a lot of voices, but I wanted to play that at night, but I got to some puzzles, and I'm like, fuck, I can't do puzzles right now. Like anything that had puzzle stuff in it, as it got later into Extra Life, I stopped doing. So I played Batman Arkham Knight, which was fun, but then I got to a point where I had to use the vision and try to figure out it to get into different places, and I'm like, oh no, too much thought. Go back to Forza. So I played a little golf. The Golf Club 2 I played.
How is that, Gary, compared to the first one? I mean, for those that like golf games, I mean, is it worth, if you have the first one, is it really worth picking up?
No, I didn't play the new one that's out. That's TG.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's the Golf Club Tour, I guess, or something, I think.
Okay, yes.
This was the second one, which was a nice improvement from the first, I thought. Where they brought in the clubs and stuff like that.
Right.
I want to get this one, but I don't want to spend that much money on it when I have the Golf Club 2. I think they're probably pretty similar.
Okay.
And you know, we have that one chat in WhatsApp with the, I don't know if you're still in that, but
I am lurking about in there, but yes.
Yeah. They're making me want to buy it, but there's just no reason. I'll wait for a good sale on that. But played around with that. It was nice. A little less multiplayer than I thought. Hellblade was a nice surprise, I gotta say. Oh, I did a little Assassin's Creed Origins too. But as soon as I had to start making crafting and stuff like that, I'm like, this is not what I want to play right now. So I jumped out of that.
I'd say a Hellblade at 3 o'clock in the morning with a set of headphones on would be pretty creepy in an altered state.
Yeah.
Well, you did a lot there, and do you know what? I just dropped you some money because I forgot. So I just made a little donation there while you were chatting. So
thank you.
Yeah.
So
you can still donate.
Yeah,
the important
rumor is this coming week there might also be some additional donations making their rounds to people. So
that's awesome. I raised a lot of money this year. I'm blown away every year at how much people actually go ahead and donate. And I sold candy at work, so I have another probably like 100. I think it's going to be $180 that I'm dumping into my Extra Life. So I see you got Hellblade on the stream. That thing it looks so good too on the widescreen. I gotta say, I can't wait to play that again and finish that thing off. But anyway, so yeah, a lot of money. We as a team, by the way. So I put us at a goal at 5,800. I forget how I came up with the number. I think I did an average based on what we've done and how many people we had. Right now, without the donation Robin just made to me, we were at 5,200.
Another 20. Pete's just donated $20 to Kim for our Baby Shark dance.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete.
So we're inching up with next weekend. You guys going, and we got a good shot at hitting that 5,800. Maybe we'll hit 6. That would be nice.
Yeah, I plan on doing another push this upcoming week, so hopefully we'll see some more donations come through for sure.
And I think I got a couple donations from streaming this year, which doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Like I do it because
it worked for me.
I feel accountable. Like I need to show people that I'm playing, even if nobody even knows I do this Twitch thing and what have you. But a couple of gaming friends that I know did actually drop some money in, probably because they saw the Twitch, so that was cool.
Yeah, it's funny. My son Joshua also streamed for his community that he's in, and he's raised over $1,000 yesterday. Now, yes, some family and local here, maybe $100, $150, something like that there. But the way he got one donation, who he doesn't really know who it's from, was for $250. And it's fantastic that and then most of the stuff's in stateside American. And it's really just it's fantastic how generous people can be.
It is amazing how generous people are.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
Move on.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. Actually, so now let's just talk about. I want to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
I want to have a bit of conversation around this game. It's kind of the big thing right now. I think all of us have been playing it with the exception of Gary.
Yeah, I've been the holdout. I'm waiting for PC, man.
You've been the holdout. All right.
Keep waiting. Don't hold your breath.
I would anticipate a PC version probably next year. I mean, it's gonna come. It's just I think they wanted to focus on console, and I think for good reason, because this is such a massive game. And when I mean massive, I'm not just talking the scale of the map. This game it has so much going on, and I think that's a conversation in and of itself to have, because there are a lot of games out there that they have big open world maps, they have good storyline, they might have a lot of detail in the environments, they might pay attention to little subtle movements and intricacies around the character movement, and they also might have inventory systems and deep kind of progression systems. But usually none of those games get one or two of those things right. They don't often hit almost everything across the board in such a good, well done fashion as Red Dead Redemption 2 is doing. And so I marvel at this game. Every time I play it, I am just taken aback by how much they get right with Red Dead Redemption 2. But I know there are some people that, Robin, be nice. There are some people out there that are not necessarily getting on with the game because it is a bit simmy, and not sim like we've seen before. A lot of games that are simulation games out there, it's a lot more stat-based kind of simulation. This feels like the simulation is just very involved, and for I think some, like Mark, I know you were talking about you weren't really getting along all that well with the controls.
No, well, it's been a funny one for me because of the sort of situation I'm in with Jenny being in hospital and everything. She's been in nearly 2 bloody weeks now, so I've not been up for gaming much anyway. This came out a week ago, and it was only sort of like last night I got to play properly for a good 3 hours. It was late at night, I was tired, so I wasn't really feeling it that much, and it didn't grab me like I thought it would do. You guys have made me so hyped up to play this because you've been bigging it up so much, and I felt a little bit deflated when I played it last night. I found some of the controls a bit finicky, the horse controls I couldn't work out. I was getting into situations which I didn't think I should have got into quite easy, like well, I suppose it's my own fault. There's a camp you have to clear for a rival gang, so we killed them all. There was 3 of us, we killed them all, and then I started looting all the bodies, and then it comes up in the corner, warning, witness alert or something, and all of a sudden a load of sheriffs ride up. And it does give you opportunity to walk away. But me being an idiot, I didn't. Because the sheriff says, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just come across all these bodies. I'm going to start looting another body, don't I?" And they just open fire and decimate her. So lesson learned there. Don't loot in front of the sheriffs.
It's funny that you talked about that moment, that story moment, because I played that. I think you play that mission in the game. At some point, you will play that mission for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the other missions,
Yeah, so I played the very same mission. I also did the same exact thing. I was sticking around, I was looting.
Yeah.
But fortunately for me, I saw the sheriffs coming and approaching the building, and on the mini-map that showed them as red dots. So I knew they were going to be, quote-unquote, potentially hostile to me. So they hadn't seen me yet. So I actually ducked around the side of the building, and I straight up weighed in late, and the sheriffs rounded the corner, and I blasted the first one with my shotgun, and then I slipped back around the back side of the building, and I took out all of the posse.
Yeah.
And then had a huge bounty put right on my head, and at that point I had to figure out how to get the bounty off my head because that became difficult once I went in town.
Yeah, even though I got killed, I still had a bounty on my head as well, which I had to go pay. I enjoyed the grizzly bear bit. The hunting bit. That was good. Although he killed me twice, the fucking bastard. But yeah, that was good. Yeah. Once that thing gets on top of and mauls you. Well, I wasn't used to the controls and everything. I'm just panicking.
I'm nowhere near as far in as you guys, but I'm just struck at every time I switch it on at how beautifully cinematic it is.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe those things as I go along will annoy me. The looting is a bit slow and stuff like that there, and you have to horse ride everywhere. But I don't think I mind that. I don't think I'm in any rush to finish this game. I think these are very small details that people are picking on. When something like this is a generational thing, I just think it's beautiful and gorgeous, and people are spoiled friggin' rotten if they can't fail to be impressed by this.
I think.
By the way, right now in the stream, I see you have the opening kind of moments where you're doing the horseback riding through a snowstorm. That was one of the most just incredible visual and audio experiences, because the audio is very directional. So as you're riding in your single file, you can hear like the distance between you and the next person up, and sight lines are very, everything's hard to see. I was just, that moment was just like, okay, I knew I was in for a treat.
Yeah, I loved that. And then the bit was one of the very first sort of things you do is to go and rob a train. And you ride along on horseback, and you stop at the top of a hill, and you go down to help the guy, and you come back up again, and that's just like movie cliche gold. That the guys are at the hill waiting for, and then you wait for the train to come around the corner. It's just friggin' awesome. I'm loving it. So I'm in no hurry to rush to get it completed. I will happily play this for a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure the more I play it, the more I'm gonna sort of get into it, and it'll get its hooks into me. I think as well as the other day I finished off Spider-Man, and that was a fantastic game, and I think I was used to that pace, that action. So to go from something fast action like Spider-Man to Red Dead is completely different kettle of fish. So yeah, it's good.
Well, and that is. Yeah, that's probably something to talk about. And Phil, I don't know if you found similar, but the pace of this game, I mean, the story is all extremely well done, but the pace of the game, and it's the game mechanics, I think, as much as anything, that really make this a slower paced game than I think we're all used to playing. I know Mark's talking about Spider-Man. We had God of War earlier this year, and both of those games, I think, offer action and they propel the story forward. Even though they're big kind of open world like games, they do have a lot of kind of that blockbuster popcorn like movie elements to it.
Yeah, and it's that pace that's I think throwing everyone a bit. There's quite a few people I've seen on social media who just cannot get to grips with the pace of it. I'm loving it. With all it does have a few faults. It's not a perfect game, So, picking things up, everyone wanting to shoot me all the time, me, running into horses constantly and increasing my bounty. Aside from that, it's absolutely amazing. I am loving the game. I really am.
That's good. I mean I'm right there with you. I think it's a fantastic game. So we are.
Sorry, we're seeing behind the curtain here.
I know, behind the curtains moments. The perfection of Mark Wright spinning the decks was broken just a little bit.
So good.
I knew maybe something I'd forget.
Yes.
I'm just
At least people can see and hear
gang
us.
hideouts, and nobody managed to sneak away but me, because I managed to get out of the gang hideout and not get caught or any. I mean, the wanted thing popped up, but I slipped out of there and it disappeared and nothing. So
well,
y'all
Kim,
suck.
this is one of those moments where you have choices, right? And this is what I love about this game. You always have choices, and the choice was to sneak out of there and slip away unseen.
Mm-hmm.
I chose to murder that posse. I mean, it was my intention as soon as I saw them was I'm taking them out.
Yeah, and just on those choices, some of them make me feel a bit uncomfortable, and I haven't had that with a game before. So without giving too much away, there's a mission where you have to go collecting debts.
Yep.
And beat up people if they can't pay the debts. Now, there's 3 or 4 people you have to collect from. A couple of those I really didn't want to beat up.
Yep.
And that made me feel a bit uncomfortable. I was surprised I wouldn't have the option to be a bit more lenient if I wanted to be with certain people.
I threatened a lot. I didn't actually hit them so much as I just threatened them and kind of scared them. I did that more than anything else because I'm with you there. There was a few of them I didn't want to beat the crap out of. So I didn't.
Only do that to animals in your attic.
That's right.
One of the
or
early
the dungeon in the
missions
basement. But anyway.
Yeah, when you find that cabin with your Driscolls and there's them 2 in the barn and Dutch says, "Oh, you can do what you want with these 2. You can let them go or kill them." I had no fucking hesitation, but I shot them fuckers so quick it was unbelievable. So maybe I might have the same problem.
I'm being a son of a bitch. After that train robbery mission, I went round and picked up all of the bodies and piled them up at the back of the train.
Serial killer mode.
Yeah.
Took photographs. It was great. Yeah, I am going to be a bad man.
It's funny. I, for a while, was trying not to be a bad guy. I was trying to do the morally right thing, but I've quickly slipped away from that. Probably the Driscoll mission was the kickoff for that. But talking about those uncomfortable moments, Phil, I was out on the open range. I was doing a little bit of hunting, and I saw a pack of coyotes, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try and take one out. And so I had my rifle. I had a scope on it, so sighted down the coyote, shot it once. It kept running. Stream went offline.
Robin sabotaged it.
I said enough Red Dead, and I shut you all off, bitches.
Apparently.
Oh, hang on.
Apparently.
Yeah, same with offline.
Yeah.
I wonder if my internet went off. Oh, we're back on.
If I can quote Sarah, yes, Robin did a fine job, but glad to have you back for many reasons. I'm glad to have you back for many reasons to show you that it wasn't just me.
I think my internet just went off for a bit there.
Yeah.
Looks like you're going to have to edit after this.
Nah,
I would just like to point out every show needs just a little bit of jank. It wouldn't be our podcast without
Listen to the audio version of last week's show. It bears no resemblance whatsoever to the video version of the show. In fact, the audio version doesn't. You wouldn't even knew there was any issues or problems whatsoever. It was editing.
In fact, last week's podcast visually represented on screen right now with the burning house in the background. That was last week's podcast.
Blue screen. Blue screen.
All right. Well, okay. I mean, I think consensus, I'll speak for you, Mark, as well. I'm not gonna let you say anything. Is this is a great game? Yeah. It really is it's a really fantastic game. So I mean, I think this is like one of those generational games where it is doing so much and so well, and I mean, it's beyond just a console game.
It's only a console game right now. What are you talking about?
Well, what I'm trying to say, Mr. DeFelice, is that we are used to seeing console games that will do some of these elements. They never managed to do all of these elements well. I would say even GTA 5 didn't do what Red Dead Redemption 2, in my opinion, is doing as well. Just across the board, this game is solid. Outside of, I know there's some wonkiness with some of the controls, but I think that is needed because of some of the nuance that they've put into some of the mechanics. That's my roundabout way of saying shut up about controls, get past it, and enjoy this game. It is a fantastic game. If you haven't bought this game, get it. If you are on the fence about hardware, Christopher Matthew, get your ass. I know you make good money. Get your ass out to the store. Tell your wife that somebody robbed you, and this way you can go buy the console and say, I found the console sitting in the back of the store.
That's it.
Yeah,
so wait,
that's all you need to do.
Let me throw this in there. So it's a great game, right? Rockstar did an awesome job. They took forever to come out with it. I'm gonna take us on a little bit of a sidetrack here, but are there any game producers like Rockstar? I mean, they put so much into this. They take their time. They put it out right. Maybe you don't like it, but
no, Mark. No.
Naughty Dog. Last of Us
maybe.
and Last of Us 2, bitches. Yes, Naughty Dog.
Hey, no. Last of Us with its cutting knife, the knives and the cutting block that you couldn't pull out.
For your knives.
I would never live that. No, I can't.
Gearbox. I do think Naughty Dog is up there with
Gearbox. Gearbox and Sega.
Naughty Dog is something else.
No Colonial Marines, Robin.
Look, there are some developers that are supremely talented. Naughty Dog certainly is one of them. And so to say that Naughty Dog couldn't make something like this, no, I think Naughty Dog probably could, but I don't think they have the freedom, and I mean that in a non-disrespectful way from Sony, but I don't think Sony can afford for Naughty Dog to take 8 years on a game. Whereas, Rockstar and 2K, they're like, hey, do what you need to do because we know we will be able to make a ton of money off this. And I think their online play that extended the life of GTA 5 is really kind of what afforded them to be able to take as long as they did with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah. I mean, how long has GTA 5 been on the top 10 games sold?
I mean,
it's still there, isn't it?
10 years?
Years, yeah.
Because they support their stuff. They're a phenomenal company. I think they do great. I mean, I love Naughty Dog too because everything that they've put out I've liked as well. But in my eyes, these two guys are the top dogs.
Yeah, can't wait to see what they do with the online as well.
Yeah.
You can just imagine the conference call with Take-Two, can't you? Take-Two bosses will be, yep, Rockstar, you can take as long as you want making a game. And then when we call them, they'll just say, thank God they're staying with us. We just need... But they're just happy they've got Rockstar as part of their team. Because any publisher would want Rockstar on their team, regardless of how long it takes them to release a game. If you've got Rockstar under your wing, then you're going to make a mint. So, yeah, 2K... it's 2K, not Take-Two, isn't it? 2K Interactive. They will bat an eyelid when Rockstar say, "Oh, it's going to be another 8 years before we'll get another game out." They're just
the nice link, Mark, there with 2K as well is they've published Gearbox games too, which is the ties in that Aliens Colonial Marines is in there as well. So there is a link between it and a lot of that gameplay ideas comes from there.
Yeah, Red Dead sales. Have you seen what Red Dead first?
The value you could get that game for, the value brand new.
Million.
There was no errors or graces. You could pick it up brand new for 50p in the cellophane. Anyway,
that's 50p more than you should spend in that game. All right, let us move on.
Yeah.
Why don't we, real quickly, if somebody's paying attention to the chat, maybe do a quick shout outs to those individuals in there. I've seen a few different names popping up, so I want to make sure we give some love. And then maybe, here's a question. When are we going to start taking calls, Mark? That's a question.
I think there's one of those people in the chat right now, Mark, you can actually just pull one in straight away. We had Sarah, of course, loyal Sarah, who's been there for 501 episodes.
Oh, she will not come in on the convo call. I have begged her last night. I kept sending her messages saying, please, you've got to come on. And she won't come on.
Kim, you couldn't help with that?
We've had Pete there. There's a load of people in here. I have to think a lot of these are bots.
Bot.
Yeah,
Bot, what are you talking about?
Apricot fruit. Baron von Gloor is definitely not a bot. Commander Root. Electrical Longboard. Gunslinger. Hi, Gunslinger. Pulleys. Filthy. Sarah. Slow Cool. The Real Defoe. V&K. And Virgo Pros. So, yeah, hello.
Yeah, by the way, CP Matthew is definitely a bot.
Definitely.
Oh, frig.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, there it is.
As well.
Jeez, wow.
Holy moly.
All we need is your handcuffs, Kim, for that bed.
They're in the closet.
Also, real quickly, I noticed on the screen we have guest caller TBC.
Yeah.
What exactly is TBC? Usually it's TBD. To be determined.
Don't you know English?
To be.
Oh.
No, we say to be determined. TBD.
You
just
don't
wrong.
say anything.
What are you clowns doing over there, man? TBC.
Greg is trying to speak.
It is the
Chris,
English language.
This is what I deal with, Mr. Matthew. Christopher Matthew, thank you for calling in.
Thank you for. I think Mark called me if we want to get on a technicality, but it's a pleasure to speak to you all again.
It's like we finished podcasting just yesterday, Chris. You're always correcting me on the technicalities.
That's what I'm here for. My son does that to me now, so I'm getting my comeuppance.
Chris, I remember the last time we brought you into a show, which was episode 400, and you were in a cafe somewhere.
Yeah, you were on your phone, yeah.
Trying to do this over a 3G or a 4G connection while the kids were ordering coffee and buns and stuff like that.
Yeah. I was on a date with Mrs. CP, and we had to hop in. I tried to use the LTE, and it said, nope, can't do that. So we had to steal somebody's Wi-Fi for a minute.
Brilliant.
Nice. Still paying for that.
So there he is. You boys
Mr.
talk
Matthew.
between yourselves.
I mean, we talk from time to time. We've had the pleasure of meeting one another in person back when you were out here in California.
When it rained a lot.
That's right.
Yeah.
In sunny California, it rained every day. Yeah. That was 8 years ago, Greg. I guess I need to get back.
I know.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Time has flown. It has flown. Now, how old is your son?
The oldest one will be 8 on Thursday, and the youngest just turns 6 in May.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I had just started with the show when the first one was born. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love watching them on Facebook. They're brilliant. I mean, they're Lego mad and building things mad. They seem so creative, your kids.
They do love their Lego. The oldest loves his drawings. In fact, I put him in front of the Lego right now. Their mother is studying for a PhD, so she's off at the library typing away. I said, hey, I got to do a thing. So you two play with your Lego, and I'm gonna go hide for a minute.
So Chris, sorry, Greg, Farrell, sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to kind of give some perspective for those that don't know. Christopher Matthew, you were part of the podcast team way back when we first started. You were one of the OG original OC podcast team members. In fact, I would say you are original OC podcast team member, number 1, 2, or 3. I don't know where you want to number yourself in there, but so I guess my question to you is, going back to that time, maybe a favorite moment, something that stands out in your mind.
That's a lot of
put you on the spot.
That's a lot of whiskey ago. You know what I mean? It was. I always enjoyed when we get together and game a bit. That was something we didn't do as much as I thought we would with the with the show. But the random technical guffaws and the skullduggerer falling asleep constantly in his conservatory. Yeah, those were always classic moments. Skullduggerer. I think I were members 3.5 and 3 3/4 of the show when we both came on around the same time.
No, you had the noisiest keyboard on earth, Chris. You always remember that. You're battering away at the keyboard as bad as me. I try to copy you now and the mouse clicking noises.
I still have the noisiest keyboard in the world.
And the big scary dogs.
Yeah,
and
deep back.
And, and your voice that always had to be listened to. We were frightened of you, Chris.
You were waiting for that hand grenade pin sound clicking.
We had to listen.
I do have to apologize for the audio quality tonight. Being out of practice with the podcasting and having just moved houses, I can't find my headset. So we're just using the built-in mic in this computer. So I apologize to the listeners to rob them of my dulcet tones.
You sound good as ever. Yeah, it's working. It's working.
So do you still game a bit, Chris, do you?
Not as much as I'd like to. As I said, I haven't gone in on the next gen or current gen hardware. I don't know if I know. So it's been since the last time I was on the show. My PC is currently we call it Tango Uniform. My youngest managed to get the side panel off of my gaming PC and went after it with a pair of scissors.
Good lad.
Oh no!
And thank God he didn't electrocute himself. But he basically cut with the scissors every cable inside the PC case.
Wow!
The power cables, the fan controller cables, the front side USB, like everything. Just cut it because I guess. And
it looks like fun. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that,
Look at all these colors. I must do something with this.
Right.
That's the Lego today. I'm cutting cables, baby.
That's right. So I have not taken the time to put that back together. So I'm kind of limited to the PS3 at the moment, which not a lot of content coming out on the PS3.
Yeah, every time I see you online, it's always Netflix.
Just Dance, man. You can get Just Dance.
There you go. Just Dance.
My kids might like that. Yeah, since we last spoke, I've moved from no longer living in North Carolina, living in Virginia now for a few years, and we'll be moving back to New York in 3 more years from now. So I guess next time I'm on the show, I'll be in New York maybe.
And you had you had a nice car. Was it a Viper you had bought yourself, or what was it you had bought?
Oh no, I still got the Corvette. Yep,
Corvette.
Still got the Corvette, and hopefully hang on to that one for a long time if I can avoid wrecking it. Since I probably won't get another one. It was kind of a once in a lifetime, but yeah, good fun. So that's my primary game is avoiding Johnny Law while I'm out stretching the foot out a little bit, trying to figure out where he is in that racing seat, like. There we go.
I remember I used to have a racing seat. Yeah, back in the day, I used to love that thing. And then life made me sell it. Life also rhymes with wife, by the way.
That's why I'm coming to you live from this as Robin put it, handcuff poster bed here. The new house doesn't have a space for me to set up a little office, so here I am in the guest room, hanging out.
Well, that could easily become a guest room / man cave. You just gotta work that.
It could. I guess I need to get my priorities in order, as they say.
Yeah, you tell your wife, Chris.
That's right. I tell you something. Well, since I'm still in the Army and she has the senior rank, I have to be careful. Those of us who are married men know that the wife always outranks the husband anyway, but when she really does and has legal authority, it makes it harder to say no when she says take the trash out, kind of thing.
Chris's new man cave is in the brig.
That's right. That's the bars behind you. It's actually, this is my view.
I love it. Well, Chris, from the bottom of my heart, though, I mean, thank you for just all the years of friendship. This podcast, I think one of the best things about the podcast has been that it has afforded me to make friendships with people that I never would have met before. And it is, it can't be understated enough. So I appreciate you still being around, kicking around. I want you to get into the next generation so we can kick around some more, and maybe hide your console from your child. Practicing bomb disposal is not necessarily something you want them to be doing on your computers.
Well, hopefully.
By the way, that's what I'm going to call it now. By the way.
Perfect.
Your son.
Yeah.
Okay.
Practicing bomb disposal.
Mike Chin at this moment in time is hosting the Veteran Gamers, and we're going to try a wee thing here to try and pull him into the call too.
Let's go crash their party. Let's go.
Yeah, no. So he's hosting. So I'm just waiting for a little telephone call, and I'm going to see if I can get him to do it right now and see if this works. I'm going to try
like
this.
One of those morning shows where the two teams are together talking together, and it's one.
This is a new one.
I could put their
crossover
on our podcast.
This is new because he's actually hosting Veteran Gamers at the moment, so it'll be interesting if because he can't hang up because he's hosting over there. So Mike, call us now, Mike, by the magic of thingy.
Oh, you're gonna get him via your phone.
Thingy?
Yeah, and then jack him into the sound effects line on the mixer deck.
Right.
So then he doesn't have to drop his call. So it'd be nice to get him on. Okay, 30 seconds he's asked for. That's cool.
Chris, when's the last time you talked to Mike?
Was he on the show last time I was on the show? Because that would have been
the last
time. I just have to comment on how you have all stepped your game up, though. I mean, this is all. Everybody's got like a professional rig. Everybody's got headsets and filtered microphones and racing chairs. And
it's been a bloody challenge, let me tell you.
Robin's
mixing decks.
A pool table back there. I mean, this is like, when I was on the show, it was me and my laptop sitting on the couch with my dog. So you guys are, this is professional grade.
The team definitely has stepped it up. Robin also has been slowly but surely creating the ultimate man cave. So we have slowly but surely just watched the background of his space transform into basically something we were all very jealous of.
Yeah, we all want to move in now.
And Kim built a house.
Yes.
Just for the podcast.
Just for the podcast. Yep. I got tired of being bitching about my paneling, so.
Still waiting for the tank top.
I've been following Kim's house on Facebook. It's been quite the better than anything you could build in Minecraft.
Yep. A lot harder though too. Let me tell you.
You could have built a roller coaster. I'm just saying that would have.
Yeah, but you have to live in a roller coaster, dude. I mean, come on.
That's the raccoons.
They pulled it off in New York. There's the New York. They have the roller coaster riding around the outside of the house. It's not too bad.
All right. Well,
and I didn't think of that one. Yeah. So he's a way to make a dummy Skype account. What I didn't think about was if I plug him in, we can only hear him. He couldn't hear us. His audio would have been perfect, but it would have been a very one-way conversation, which would be a normal thing with Mike Chin.
Also true.
True. So he's just away making a quick account. He's going to come back to us. Very good. Very good. So did you move with work, Chris? Is that the crack, is it? Or
yeah, that's right.
Are you still wearing the green stuff? Are you?
I am still wearing the green stuff for a few more years. Yep. So work said it was time to move, which we got 5 years in North Carolina, which is a long time for a U.S. military assignment. So.
And did you get like into NASCAR in a big way when you were in North Carolina?
I was into NASCAR in a big way before I went to North Carolina. So I did have a chance to go to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And since it's actually a pretty reasonable drive, I got down to the Daytona Motor Speedway, International Speedway as well, because that's only about 6 or 7 hours from where we lived in North Carolina. So. Nice. But now I'm here in the nation's capital with all the weirdness that goes on here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of weirdness that goes on there.
Chris, I don't know. How did you get involved? How did Chris, of all people, get involved with Used Lunatics, Greg? How did that happen? I mean,
that's a really good question.
Such a serious gentleman, you know.
I have to think back. I don't know. I don't really remember how you came to be. I think it was just because of the not veteran gamers, the G4TE community. We had basically the forums where we all were talking. We were talking about doing a podcast. I think I started talking about wanting to do my own podcast from the Couch Mercenaries and kind of launch that off. And I think it was a matter of us talking in the forums first, and obviously we were gaming together at the time from time to time, And I think that's, if I remember correctly, kind of how it came about.
Well, initially there was you, Mike, Rich, and Aaron, FNA Internal, and as well as
Chris. Knows better than I do.
Chris used to write in a lot, email a lot.
Right.
So did I. And then with Aaron left, didn't he, to do his books, all his book shit. And that's when.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it didn't promote him much, did he? No. And that's when Chris and Rich stepped in, Skulldugger. They stepped in to sort of like take up a bit of a slack. And then you guys did it for years then. And then when you decided to move from Tuesdays to Fridays and you sacked everyone, that's when you set those Muppets
on. I gave everybody the opportunity to move with me to Fridays, and I just want to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a challenge. So you can
tell I've listened from episode 1, can't you?
Did you guys, I don't remember, did you guys always record on the same night back then? Obviously there was no live videos or anything, right?
We did. Yeah, we always recorded on Tuesdays, I think, right?
Yep. Tuesday nights.
11 p.m. That's why Skulldugger was always asleep.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Well, yeah, because I had to record at the latter part of the day. So I think we started at 4 p.m. on the West Coast. So it was, or maybe it was 3. No, we started at 3 p.m. on the West Coast. So this way it was 11 p.m. in the UK when we would start. So it was always a late night. But Mike was single, so he was cool with it. And Mr. Primrose.
How things change.
I think he worked odd hours. I think that was why he was okay with doing it, because he had sometimes he would be working graveyard shifts or whatever. So it was okay with him. And then everybody started having changes. I mean, life was happening. We were, and also my job started becoming a bit more of a pain in the ass, and where I was like, I don't think I can do Tuesdays anymore. And so we shifted it to Fridays, and that really threw, I think, everybody a big wrench, because as much as I wanted to think, we can all do Fridays, no big deal. Turns out spouses don't necessarily like you podcasting on Friday nights. It's not exactly conducive to relationships.
Mine doesn't like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
It's funny you say that.
Life kind of keeps getting in the way here. It doesn't stop either.
No. Yeah, as much as Cindy loves, she knows and she understands the podcast and how much I enjoy it, I still will get the question of, are you podcasting today?
Oh yeah, already.
And it's not in the kind of curious, fun way. It's more accusatory.
No, I get the again this week again. That's like 5 weeks, 6 weeks in a row. What? Yeah, again? Yeah. Because Mark's dick's fell off and Nicole's nose is falling off.
Mark.
Sorry. And Greg has had to go and get a brain transplant again, and there's nobody else to do it but me. Yeah, so yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, but
I actually got that question this morning because we were out last night. No. We were out last night at the hockey game, and we drank a lot, and so we were sleeping in a bit this morning. We had a luxury of kind of a free date night last night, and this morning she just kind of rolls over and it's just like, "Are you podcasting today?" I'm like, "Yep, 500 shows."
Yeah.
I think we now have Mr. Chin in the room.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Mike, can you hear us, Mike? Earth to Mike.
Oh my God, it's him. It's you. It's really you. It's me. Look at this. What's happening, right? I'm doing 2 podcasts at once. Okay. That's how dedicated I am to you guys, right? And I can literally hear Stu on these headsets going, wah, 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 Spider-Man, blah, 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 right? And he's going, well, I can't believe you're leaving in the middle of the show. I said, Stu, first of all, I don't like you. Second of all, right, I have to go on the Overseas Connection and say hello and congratulate you guys on your 500th show. And I might get a bit emotional here because Chris is here as well, and we were there for the first one, Chris, and it's just getting to me. It's just getting to me, and it really means a lot that you guys have done so well. And I mean, the show has changed a lot, hasn't it, Chris?
It has, but I haven't. My not knowing how to operate the microphone hasn't changed.
No. Yeah, it's changed a lot, and I'm just so proud of you guys. And yeah, I'm literally using my phone to do this now. And I also have sleep deprivation. I have Stu whinging in my ear. There's a lot of factors. I had to make a dummy account just to be here. All right, so now I've got this stupid extra Skype account that I have to deal with in my life. But it was all worth it just to sort of meet you guys. How are you doing? How's the show going?
The show has been going great, Mike. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I appreciate you creating a fake Skype account to deal with this.
Yeah, well, it didn't take too long to do it. I mean, usually it's you picked out one of your 20 or 30 fake accounts that you usually hassle people with.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, Mike, congratulations! 24 hours of gaming, raised over $1,000 with you and your brother. Well done. Thank you for entertaining me for most of that time. I was with you.
One of my highlights was there's two big highlights. I only talked about one on the Veteran Games because I was saving the other one for this one, right? But one of my other highlights was there's a guy who came into my house with a big blue morph suit.
Yes.
All right. And this guy I haven't seen for 3 years. He's my brother's best friend, and I didn't quite believe it was him. I was like, is this actually him? And he's never been to my house before, so he had to get into his car. He had to drive to my house that he'd never been in, and he had to make sure that he picked the right house in this all blue suit. And then the other highlight, I have to say, even though I wasn't very happy about doing it at the time, was Bongo came in and said, I will donate £10 or $10 if you do the Baby Shark dance. Now, I'm usually down with the kids, right? But I had no idea what this involved, and I had no idea what it was. And then, and to be a good sport, not only did me and Pete do the dance, but my little nephew Jimmy did it as well.
Well, guess what, Mike? You're doing it again.
No.
I'm not.
We've already done it tonight. Pete paid us $30 for us all to do it. We all did it tonight.
Now I know why Pete did that.
Yeah. So yeah, I like a true gentleman, Bongo said, well, as soon as Jimmy did it as well, I think that's an extra £10, so £5 to each of us. So it's been a fantastic event, Extra Life. So, and it's quite a nice sort of moment that it's timed up well with your 500th show. Yeah,
easy for you to say.
I know nothing's easy for me to say, Greg. Yeah, and you know, I don't know what else to say. I'm just rambling, right, until you kick me off,
okay.
which is kind of how the show used to work when me and Chris was on it. I do remember doing the very first episode, Greg. I do remember that.
No.
I remember doing it. And this is how mad we used to do it, right? We used to stop the show halfway, play a game of Halo, and then talk about that game, right? Or play a multiplayer game and do that, right? And be like, oh, yeah, you came close. We used to do that. And then...
Oh, my God, really?
Then we stopped that because we realised that was ridiculous. And then somebody left the show, and then that's when we needed somebody else. And Chris and Skulldugger came at the same time and said, well, we love them both. Yeah. Why not have them both? And it was super fun, and I really enjoyed doing it for years and years and years. But these days, I don't look at the Overseas Connection and miss it. I look at it and just go, you've done all right. You know what I mean? Where I've raised a child and gone, hey,
a proud
done okay. Done okay, that child. Because now it's a beast that kind of like feeds itself almost, right? And it's sort of self-run, and it's good. It's great. So, how are you guys feeling about the 500th, the 500th show?
I mean, I feel great about it. Yeah, no. I mean,
energy, guys.
No.
We're waiting for the old fart to speak, Mark. Mike, you see, that's it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just falling back into the old habits of the old show where Mike rambles on, Chris is giving stern looks, and then eventually Chris will just say, "We're not doing that," and we move on from that. Chris was the muscle basically, and any ridiculous suggestion.
I'm not these days, but back then I was genuinely scared of Chris. Right, I was like, Chris is a scary guy, right? And he's quite like intimidating, and he's very smart, and he could probably kill me. Do you know what I mean? Like when we all talk about it, he could probably kill me in real life, right? So and then you get to know Chris, and he's actually such a nice guy. He's a sweetheart. He's a big softy, really. He's a big softy. You can just squeeze him, right? And
he'll kill you with his thumb.
I know. To be honest, when he does it, I'll be happy. You know what I mean?
Thank God for that. I wonder what that was.
Yeah.
Perspective, Chris.
Yeah. No.
Sorry. So, I knew it wasn't that because it was far too big.
Audio listeners, you have to watch the video.
Yeah.
This is Kim's favorite show ever.
Yeah, there you go.
It's been a good jaunt. I don't know how you guys are finding it. I mean, like 500 shows is a big achievement, Greg. You must feel absolutely knackered after 500 shows. Like, just running this. Did you ever at one point think, is this going to carry on? Are we going to do this for this long?
Yeah. So I mean, let's talk about that. So I mean, back in the day, I proudly will say, I mean, I was a driving force for getting the show out and constantly getting it going, and rounding you yahoos up was always a challenge.
Yeah.
I remember thinking to myself, one of these days, one of these guys is going to want to step up and do something.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, one of these days.
It's never happened. It's never happened.
No, but seriously, I think, honestly, one of my most proud things, and this is more a focus on today's podcast as opposed to the original podcast, it really is watching the evolution of this podcast team. I mean, we pulled in new people to help fill things out, but the team has stepped up in so many different ways to help this podcast continue to keep going. Without having people step up to the plate and take on some of the load, there's no way we would be at 500. So, yes, I know. It gets emotional.
I'm getting emotional, Greg.
And it's changed so much.
I get it verklempt, Greg.
It's changed so much, hasn't it? With the
I can't talk about it anymore. It's just making me too emotional.
You see, Greg DeLacy, you talk about me getting sent off with like a wee band, like a wee string pulled behind my back, and I go off on a friggin' tangent and go for like 2 minutes non-stop. This guy does that too. You're used to that.
I know.
You must love it.
Why do you think I moved the podcast? I was trying to get away from that.
Yeah. Right. This is not a joke now, right? My phone is on 4%. I'm literally still charging it, and it's going down in charge.
Okay,
that's how bad it is, right? So I just want to wish you guys, first of all, everybody that took part in Extra Life, well done, congratulations. We've done such a great job. Gary, I hate you, but you've done so well. But yeah, massive congratulations to everybody that took part. Big up to Unity Hub, and also and the auction, everything. Thank you so much for all the support, all the love. Not just me, but my brother who did it for the first year, and anybody else that's done it. Thank you so much. Well done for 500 shows. Massive congrats. I love you all, and I listen every week. And and it's great to see all the old guys come back and everything. So thank you so much, Greg. You're a star. And I've actually met you in real life, Greg, and he's so sexy. What, Greg? What do you want?
Go away.
Okay, I'm done. You sound like my wife. Bye, everyone.
Love you, Mike.
Bye.
Bye.
It was nice listening to you again, Mike. Talk to you later.
I was just saying before, so like Mike, as he does, cuts you off. The podcast has changed so much as well with the streaming element, with us streaming it live. At first, we just went live with the audio, and then we went live with video, and now we stream to all the platforms, as do the Veteran Gamers. And it's a different ball game now as well, going live. Yeah.
It is. I listen to it. I listen to the show still driving in my car, and I do feel sometimes I'm missing a part of it because I'm not listening live. So maybe I'll. It's you've taken it up a notch. So well done.
Cheers, cheers.
No, well, we appreciate that, Chris, and obviously you were always going to be part of the team. Even in the absence of a computer that's able to run a game or console at the moment. Well, you have your PS3, so But no, seriously, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for all the years of support, and that not just from the podcast standpoint. You've always been generous from Extra Life, and from me to you, thank you, because I really do appreciate all the support you've always given me. So that gets me emotional. Yeah.
Well, you're welcome, and I certainly appreciate you letting me drop in every 100 shows or so. Maybe I'll try to make a more regular
see you at 600
contribution here.
You are welcome to come in the future. We don't have to wait for 100 episodes to go by.
But 500 episodes, that's almost 10 years. So keep it going, guys. Greg's not getting any younger, right?
Yeah. I know.
Thanks for pointing that out, Chris.
The other week, me and Robin was on about how long have we been on, and we were thinking, about 18 months or something. I look back. My first episode was 247, and it was like 5 years ago. And it's just a blur.
Yeah,
it's
terrifying.
Yeah,
terrifying. You listen back to some
never get that time back.
No, I can never get that time back.
Chris, I always love listening to you. I miss hearing you. There was a certain magic about the original OC.
Yeah.
The Primrose and Mike and yourself and Greg. Greg was always the straight man, and you could always have a good laugh. With Mike and Primrose there. It was brilliant. There was something very magical about those days. So thank you for that time too.
There's two things.
I think that's why he moved the show. It was he was tired of him being in three clowns. It's like it's just me and these three clowns.
Yeah, Chris's best bits for me were at the start of every show. He used to interrupt Greg on the intro.
Yeah, we did that tonight. Troy, I did that tonight just for you.
And every time Greg would mention something or suggest something, and all you hear was Chris here. No, Greg, no.
Right. No. Let me tell you what you meant to say. Let me correct you.
Yes.
The gag with interrupting Greg started with the dog. Actually, we were getting ready to start the show, and he's like, "All right, quiet." And like just when he takes his big breath and he's about to say, "Hey, everybody, welcome to the Overseas Connection," the dog starts scratching his collar. Ding, 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 ding. He's like, "Really, with the dog? What do you do? It's a dog." So deal. And that was the start of that gag. Which was long running, and I hope you keep up the tradition.
They managed to do that for sure. And the really comment, I don't know where I pulled that out from, but then that became a bit all in of itself too. I was really, Chris, really, and you just be like, yeah, really.
No, Greg. No.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, it is. Yeah, fond memories. Yeah. Anyway, no. Yeah. So let's move forward. Chris, thank you again. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, buddy.
We appreciate you stopping in. I think we're going to try and pull in others. I could be wrong. So with that said and done, Chris, thanks again. Have a great evening.
You're welcome, and congratulations on the 500th show. Looking forward to 600. Toodles.
See ya. Bye.
Hey, Chris.
Bye.
Bye, Chris.
Oh, what a legend. Absolutely. I think somewhere in the background is Kyle Adams, Mark, there as well. So, okay, well. We're talking about stuff, and there's people in the chat there, like Baron von Glores, talking about memories and different things we had, and of course the Richard Primrose and the sleeping bag. Richard would often, but once especially, fell asleep while podcasting. Because he was late at night and he'd done it at his conservatory and it was cold, so he got into a sleeping bag for a lot of the shows in the wintertime. And in this one particular thing, he went quite quiet, and then you went, "What the hell is that?" And it was, and he was out cold. It was brilliant, so good.
So just to kind of put this in perspective, back in the early days of the podcast, we did not have video. It was strictly Skype audio only. I had no idea what anybody's setups were. So, you never knew, where they were podcasting from. And, Mr. Matthew had he would, I think, podcast in his kitchen area.
Yeah, it sounded like it was on his dining room table because it was a bit
it was a little echoey. You could always hear the dog walking through. You'd hear the paws, echoing in the room. And then Richard Primrose, I had no clue where he was podcasting from. And then one day I heard this zipper And I'm like, what was that? And he's like, I'm zipping up the my sleeping bag. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're podcasting in a sleeping bag? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm cold. I'm all snuggled up. And so then he would podcast in his sleeping bag, and every once in a while we'd start hearing him getting a little drowsy, whatever, but it never really got bad until this one show. And suddenly, we're talking away about some game, and we turn it to Richard Primrose, and it's like we asked a question, and it's just dead silence. And I'm like, Rich? Nothing. Rich? And I can see he's still on the Skype call, and all of a sudden all I hear is just killed it. And then another fond memory of Richard Primrose in particular, and I was hoping he might be able to jump into the show.
Yeah, we did try getting on tonight.
Yeah, right before we get ready to podcast, his headset completely falls apart.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And he takes duct tape and he duct tapes his headset to his head, and then he took a picture of it, showed it. I mean,
yeah.
Remember that? That was funny. Anyway,
but I mean, the days before video, even when we were doing full audio, there was little things that we used to do if you wanted to talk and you couldn't. Because here now, you can go like this and go like, I've got a point, I've got something,
Right.
And what do we used to type something in the Skype
type
chat.
one,
like,
yeah, we
one. Yeah.
That was the cue, and I will never forget. More times than not, you would just see somebody with just 31s in a row. I was completely ignoring the chat, not paying attention, and they wanted to say something. And so finally we just did away with that because we realized we were just going to talk over one another regardless.
I think near the beginning, before I had even anywhere near a half decent setup, I remember trying to the pop filters you used to have and the echo, trying to get rid of the echo, and my sunroom was very clattery, or I couldn't get any internet, even Wi-Fi in there at that time. So I sent all the kids to bed and done it in the kitchen, but I got inside a quilt cover, and I was in the kitchen with the quilt over my head, and the kids coming, "What the heck are you doing?" I looked like a ghost. It didn't work very well, but yeah, you try these things.
You need a Snuggie.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I
a Snuggie and a Jack LaLanne juicer.
Some of my favorite moments are actually from the early days with you and your absolutely garbage internet. And you would just get so frustrated because we would just be we'd be talking, and suddenly you would just get all Skypey, and we would catch every third word, if that. And
McDonald's trip.
Yeah, we'd be trying to say, Robin, we can't understand you, and you were just talking, and then suddenly we'd be we didn't hear half what you said. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake!
You get that bit all right. Oh well, I mean, it was one of the first times. Was that I left with the reins, and I had the microphone and a new microphone stand, and I had bolted it onto the windowsill.
Yeah, that's one of my favourites.
Yeah, there's the microphone.
Me, you, and Nicole on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I was not hosting.
Yeah,
I was and I was nervous as all get out. Yeah. I remember that week leading up to it, and I was just
I don't remember now. All you could do was fucking laugh. So the microphone dropped, the cables came out, and I was already stressed.
Yeah.
And it's
Me and Nicole just looked at each other, because that's when we were live as well on Twitch, and we just looked at each other and thought, shit, we're gonna have to say something. It's dead air. We're live. It's dead air, man. So we started talking. And then once you got it all back on, your fucking internet died.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was an icon. I think one of the overseas connection icons has a instead of the microphone in the middle, it shows it falling off. It falls over. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. No, it wasn't.
A t-shirt, didn't she? It was a t-shirt. Yeah, I think I had a version of that t-shirt kicking around somewhere. The bongo mic drum.
Yeah. And the McDonald's night was my internet and the power in the house failed completely. So I drove 5 miles like a bat out of hell, and with a mobile phone, and latched on to the McDonald's, sat in the McDonald's car park, and latched onto the Wi-Fi and podcast from my car.
And we got you pressing your horn as well, and it was 11:30 at night, and you were pressing your horn.
It's been
Had
fun.
we known, by the way, back in the day that the McDonald's Wi-Fi was better than your home Wi-Fi, I think we would have had you go to McDonald's every show.
No, you think? In Extra Life last year, my live stream was so old school, it was a photograph every 30 seconds. Suggesting? That's what it was.
Yeah,
it was a
the
photo.
GoPros will fall over, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's, the internet into this house over the last 12 months has been life-changing. It's been fantastic. Oh, this wouldn't have been possible. Oh, yeah. Goodness me.
All right, well, let's bring in somebody else real fast, if we can, Mark.
I've got someone lined up.
Kyle Adams from the Entertain Nerds, good friend of the show, good friend of
a few times now. He's a great guy, and he's just
I've shared a bedroom with him. Yeah.
That does not speak
There's
highly
not many
of him.
people you haven't shared a bedroom with, Robin.
Oh, he's good lad.
Me.
He was good.
Give it time, Jerry. Give it time.
It's 100. It's Kyle.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
All right. And you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good.
Kyle, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So obviously we're celebrating 500 episodes here. You've got your own podcast going on, of course, Entertain Nerds. We want to give you some love and props. But question for you. I know you have been kind of a long time listener. You've at least known of us. So any fondness?
Times, Greg?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
well, that's usually when I've not been here, for the record.
Yeah,
I like, for the longest stretch, everybody who guest host, I never talked to them because I was the one not on the show.
That's very true, because I was disappointed we couldn't talk about bowling.
Yes. Let's. You know what? Screw
Do we have another
Let's
bowler
talk
here?
about
Here we
bowling.
go. We invited Kyle.
We have another bowler. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Kyle,
yeah.
what is your current average? This is important conversation now.
All right, it's only about 150-ish or so at the moment. Which,
That's not bad. Bad.
But it's not quite where I want it to be, and I've only broken 200 once. So,
okay.
But yeah, it's fun. I don't bowl in the league so much now. I've had to step away from that because Friday nights didn't work out very well. But I've still got my own bowling balls and want to try and get back into it at some point. But yeah.
Well, you see, what I did is I got away from doing it on the weekends, and now I bowl league on Wednesday night. That's your hot tip is bowl midweek. This way, one, you get a reprieve from family life, and this way you also don't get in trouble with the missus or other family obligations on the weekend.
Greg, where's your average at now, Greg?
I am a solid 168 right now.
All right, you're getting there.
I'm getting there. I bowled a 245 2 weeks ago, and then the last week I bowled a 204, then a 168, and then a 145. It was not a good night. It just progressively went downhill.
You got to make those spares. Do you know my average was when I retired?
You were good.
I was in the low twos, 205, 206, something.
Yeah, so don't shame the bowling.
The kids know. I love it. I want to get back. It's just these damn kids keep getting in the way.
They do
Next
that.
year. We say that every year we go.
We know everybody doesn't want to hear about bowling. Let's real quickly, what video game are you currently enjoying? Maybe Red Dead Redemption 2? I don't know.
I was going to say Red Dead Redemption 2, but I'm not sure I'm enjoying it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so
look,
Mark
Mark
it's not
opened
just
up.
me.
No, I've tried my hardest, so there's still a few things that are just driving me crazy with it.
Okay.
I haven't had a good session on it though, which is part of the problem. I think I've done chapter 1. There's just a few things that frustrated me. So crashing into people and then they starting shooting me, and that's annoying. The bloke does walk very slow, and then I think the other night wolves scared my horse and it threw me off, and then they just killed me.
Yep.
That frustrated me to the point where I literally just turned it off. And then I keep failing missions by walking out the area that they want me to be in because I couldn't find a woman that I was looking for. It just comes up mission failed because I was wandering around aimlessly. So It's a very nice game. Plays pretty well.
I don't think you're gonna make a very good cowboy in real life, Kyle.
No.
Like you know, the wolf scares your horse in real life. That's gonna happen, and you might get kicked off, and you might get attacked by a wolf. So, take this as training for the apocalypse. That you may have to do these. These are skills you need to learn in real time.
Well, about
so
10
stop
minutes
complaining
previous,
about it, you softy.
Well, I got attacked by a bear and survived, and then I got attacked by a couple of wolves and died.
Yeah,
so.
That was just a night out in Birmingham. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot we called you the bear.
Oh, I don't want to know why. I really don't want to know why.
I'm shaved.
What, since then?
Again, I don't want to know why. All right, so yeah, no, I get where you would be having some frustration with that. You know, I guess my advice: one, don't run your horse into people.
Yeah, the brakes didn't work on it though.
ABS.
Fail its MOT.
I was braking, but I still crashed. But I do want to get back to it. But games I have been enjoying. I know it's been talked about a lot on the show. Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah. Right.
I really enjoyed that.
Where have you been?
Much more.
Just for Wednesday nights, yeah.
I know I fell asleep the other Wednesday, so yeah, I didn't make it. But if it's still going ahead,
make it exciting, yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be our new game night, I think, Wednesday night.
Awesome. Well, that'd be good. And other than that, I've been playing Super Mario 3 on the Switch. You know, on the online games.
I've never heard of it. Super Mario. What?
It'll catch on at some point.
It might.
Super Mario 3. Yeah, I started to play Super Mario. Is it World? Which is the one that Mike and Pete was playing on Extra Life, and they said he recommends one of the very best Mario games out of Super Mario World. I don't know. I haven't a clue. I haven't played them all. I mean, I finished the latest one, the Odyssey, but I have never finished a Mario game. Isn't that ridiculous? So I really must make the effort.
I don't think it's ridiculous. I don't think I've ever finished it. Yeah.
I haven't finished one, I don't think, either.
I don't know if I've ever even played a Mario game, so how about that?
No.
I played one on the DS.
Does
DSi.
Donkey Kong count?
But yeah, I'm
Sunshine.
pretty with you there, Gary. I've never played a Zelda.
Yeah, me neither.
I've never either,
No, I haven't either.
But I'm
Clearly,
not a
this
Nintendo
podcast
player,
is
for
lots of Nintendo love.
Yeah, apparently.
That's why none
All the
of
new
us are
people
on,
you brought in.
entertainers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you just call them the Nintendo nerds?
Yeah, Nintendo nerds, yeah.
There you go, Kyle. You're
New
welcome.
name for your show. Yeah, Nintendo nerds.
So, Kyle, I mean, you grew up with veteran gamers and OC originally, like myself, I suppose. Yeah.
That's right. About 2013, it was because the guy that you've met Andy now. But I used to work with Andy, he put me onto podcasts when I used to complain that my music was annoying me because it was the same songs over and over. So yeah, Veteran Gamers was the first one, but then because Chinny was on the OC at the time, I started listening to that very soon after. So yeah, it's been over 5 years now. So
hopefully an entertaining 5 years. I know, not always, but
yeah. Well, I don't think I've missed a show, so that must say something.
That does say something.
And the Entertain Nerds podcast has grew and grew with a big roster now as well. Because doesn't Antonio, the big 21-year-old, he's on the podcast now as well. And Carl is a nice guy, and the little hero herself.
But it's the getting into a regular pattern. We're meant to be fortnightly, but quite often it slips, which is frustrating, but it's quite often my fault. But but no, it's good when it happens. I think we're meant to record probably about 2 weeks ago, but I think we're going to go for Tuesday, and I think we're going to drag on a special guest, so you'll have to wait and see who that's going to be. But yeah, no, it's going okay. I think we're 37 episodes in, but that's in about 2.5 years, so that's not a very good ratio, really.
And can I just say, Kyle, you've done a fantastic job because Richard Atras originally set Entertain Nerds up, and he'll said Nintendo Nerds again, and you've sort of like taking it over, and you're doing a superb job. So yeah, I look forward to listening every time you put a show out.
Yeah, cheers, Mark. Yeah, it was Nat's project, and bits and pieces got in the way, unfortunately. So yeah, it nearly died very early on. So in some ways, it's not as regular as I'd like it to be, but it could have been nothing altogether. And we do get some nice feedback from people sometimes, and yeah, it makes it all worth doing, as you guys know. And I'm here to tell you about how appreciative I am of all the hard work you guys put in.
Is there any special moments you remember from the Overseas Connection podcasts? Anything that sticks
out? The one where Greg had his victory achieved and where that originated from.
Oh God!
Yeah, I remember laughing quite a lot at that, and obviously, as you mentioned just before I came on, Robin and his mic drop. Yeah.
That's
I will just say,
victory's achieved.
Well, I was going to say back to the Robin mic drop moment. I remember, texting you, the team, saying, hey, how'd the show go? And everyone was like, oh, no problems at all, totally fine, easy. And then I start listening to it. And
did I not send you a big apology email or something as well?
Oh God, yeah. Robin was mortified. He was like sending this a big apology email, and I mean, I laughed so hard listening to that show, and it was brilliant in its flaw. So yeah.
I did try find that episode to put it on tonight, but I couldn't find which episode it was. There was too many to troll through. I like to WhatsApp chat. Greg just did one word, and it just said fired.
This is not good for my image.
Moving on.
Yes. Moving on. No. So yeah, Kyle. No, really. One, appreciate the kind words, and two, love that you have picked up the mantle and taken on podcasting. Look, this is one of the things that I love about podcasts because I think they inspire people. I was inspired by the Couch Mercenaries way back in the day to start trying to podcast and thinking I can make a podcast. And then I know that inspired Robin to want to get involved, and inspired Mark. I mean, it inspired all of us basically. Yeah. And so, and it's this trickle-down effect. And you hear somebody do a podcast and then you start putting forward, making the effort. And it's not an easy effort. So I have full appreciation for anybody who ever tries to put forward a podcast, and for those that are successful, like yourself, Kyle. It's awesome, and it's great to see. And I encourage anybody out there that wants to do their own podcast or thinks they have an idea for a podcast, go for it, try it, seek advice. Phil Olson can give you all kinds of advice. I think having a good core team is very important because it takes some of the burden off of your shoulders.
Someday.
But no, very much, it's inspiring having you on the show. So I really appreciate you coming on and the kind words you've said, but most importantly, just you being inspired to go forward and do your own thing as well. It's awesome.
No, fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Pound sand.
Yeah, well, just before I go, I will disappear. But it's just the other part of it is obviously meeting people. I've obviously met a few of the guys that are on the show, and obviously I was there when Duke came over, and hopefully that's not the end of meeting. I know and enjoy listening to others meeting, like coming over to America and all this, that, and the other, and hopefully maybe I'll be in a position to do that one day, and or vice versa. So it's definitely there's all the social side and all the great people that you get to.
And of course, we slept together.
That is true. Yeah, the first year.
Yep.
But
yeah,
is that really a highlight or just happened?
Do you notice Gary says the first year? He's never done it since.
It was so good.
First and last.
We wrecked the par in the hotel. The par in the hotel went out.
That vibrating thing on the side of the bed, you put too many coins in or something.
No, Kyle is definitely a friend now. Definitely, and the community has been fantastic, and I count some of my best friends. In fact, my best friends are here among us now. So yeah, it's been brilliant, and there's a core group of 40 people out there that I would never have met. 40, 50 people that I've met over the last 10 or 12 years, and it's brilliant. It's been really good, and who would have thunk this playing games would have brought us all together.
Yep.
Oh, and even more so as we've grown up and become parents, fathers, more responsible, blah blah blah. Growing up, had problems, had
some less responsible,
sorrows, death, you name it. We've had it, and we've grown together, and it's been brilliant. So, and anybody that's came along with us that has sort of came and been part of that, and people in the chat that, and people who just listen. I remember when I was just a listener, and you got to know Mike and Stu and Greg, and you felt like you knew them. It's kind of creepy. And
there is that aspect of it. You don't talk about that too much. You do start to feel like you know these people, and likewise, people feel like they know me. And sometimes it's like, how do you know me? And you're like, oh, I listened to you on the show.
It's nice. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Well, so it is nice. So anyway, yeah. So Kyle, thanks very much for coming on, fella.
Congratulations again, guys, and thanks for what you do.
Cheers, Kyle. Thank you so much.
Good luck with you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Good luck.
Bye.
See you, man.
Keep up with the bowling.
Oh, well, cheers.
Yeah. So there's all this. Kim has a note here to say one of her favorite moments was Bongo getting well oiled one night. I take great offense at that. Because it was definitely more than one night.
Yes.
There was one night though, wasn't there, Kim? I remember that
it was bad. Yeah.
You
was it really?
You were absolutely steaming. Yeah.
Certainly bad wine nights.
Yeah. And I think you were steaming before we even started.
Oh.
Was this the episode when he also discovered the feckin' whiskey?
No.
Before that.
Before that. I think one of the best podcasts I ever recorded was actually with Chris MJW from Boss Wave, and Richard Primrose, and myself, and I had jugs of mojitos, and it was the best, funniest, absolutely most spectacular podcast ever. It was a summer night. It was brilliant. We were on form. The jokes were cracking, and at the end of the podcast, Chris goes, "Oh fuck. It didn't record." So yeah, it was the best podcast ever. Right, let's get an old host who gets blamed for everything, and rightly so. Unfortunately, he disappeared off into the ether. We miss him, and hopefully Mark can get the old Fraser Moo into the show. So that would be nice, wouldn't it? Is he there, Mark? Is he?
That would be lovely.
Now.
Oh, absolutely excellent.
You
know, there's a reason why he disappeared.
Canada.
They legalized cannabis.
It saved Greg sucking him anyway.
Do you know what? They've recorded a couple of shows recently, and the last show they done, Fraser was as high as a bloody kite. It was fucking awesome.
Okay, I can hear him now.
Are you stoned tonight, sir? Hiya, Fraser, buddy.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you
Fraser Moores.
Much. Love it.
Yeah.
We don't mind here in Canada, do we?
No.
Hey, buddy.
Aren't you looking? You, sir. Okay, I'm going to just say, you sound brilliant. And you look amazing. Look at all that fuzz on your face. You're looking very, very, I don't know. I like it.
That's who? Me?
You! Well, you're the only one I can see.
You're the only one with fuzz in your face, Robin. Well, actually, I take that back. Gary has fuzz.
I can only
I do.
Oh, Gary's here.
Mark does too.
Yeah. Praise, what's up, my boy?
Yeah, what's going on, bro? Sorry, I let you down last night. I couldn't.
Figured you fell asleep.
I did. I couldn't do a late one.
But hey, you told me I looked skinny, so God bless you, man.
I know. I got compliments for everyone except Greg. Greg. Love you, man. Hey, look, I got
Fraser,
a treat
we
for
love
you.
you
Have
too.
you got my video? Have you not? Oh, you haven't got my video. There. Oh, all right.
No.
Look,
Yes.
look.
It's a koala bear.
Don't worry about me.
Sorry,
But
Kim,
look,
I'll have to replace
just look. It's just like old times. The old
Oh,
missus
yeah.
is there having a listen. She said, Ray said. She said, "I really want to listen." Can you believe that? She misses this way more than I do.
Do you know what?
We miss you.
I miss having my vegetables, appreciated. Because she always used to appreciate my vegetables and my gardening, and I miss Grace's gardening. I watch it on Facebook, and she goes, "The best turnip ever." And there's the big girl who just had a birthday. Whoa, birthday girl! Happy birthday! I know you were a birthday a couple of weeks ago, but wow, you got so big.
Saying happy birthday, you can't hear him.
Thank you.
No, I appreciated Grace's sensibilities. She was a very smart woman. How she wound up with you, Fraser, is
She's
still
made some very,
baffling.
very large mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 gags. Mm-hmm.
No, well, Fraser, let's talk. So
Yeah.
you were
Is Phil
you
there
were
in the
a gentleman.
background as well?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
Phil.
Oh, mate.
Hello, mate.
So what's the crack here? The podcast was reinvented, and it was as good as ever again. Well, the first one was very, very professional. The second one was different.
We've done a third. We recorded a third. We recorded a third over a week ago, and it's still yet to be posted.
Yeah, well, it's great to hear you on again because I miss your voice, and you're a good podcasting talent.
You're so good. He's so good. Well, this is this positive stroking podcast, isn't it?
No, Fraser, come on. Let's be real here. I sought you out. I stole you from the Game Punchers for a bit. It wasn't necessarily a full steal because you were doing dual citizen podcasting. You were doing your Game Punchers, and then we brought you into the OC podcast to kind of try to pull you in from time to time, and so you were podcasting with us on a somewhat regular clip. My intention was to fully try to steal you away from Game Punchers, and that never really came to fruition.
It's funny how it worked out because I don't know, probably similar to Robin was, I was listening, and maybe a lot of others. I listened to a lot of podcasts, and you just feel like you start writing into them, you start sort of listening and whatever, and maybe sending emails or, participating in the giveaways or quizzes, and you just want to do more and more and more. And then and more leads to, I want to do this, right? And I know Robin is a bit like me in that the pair of us just love the sounds of our own voices, right?
No, I'm modesty is one of my biggest faults.
Right.
And so at the time, nobody really wants to know this, but at the time, so I was desperately looking for a home. I'd started a podcast on my own with a friend of mine, and then that sort of was dying a death. It wasn't regular enough, and so I was looking for a home, and Game Punchers was not the first. I'd gone to about 3 or 4 different gaming podcasts and emailing all these different podcasts and, can I come on your show? Can I come on your show? Because I knew I could find a home somewhere. And so Game Punchers was one of them. And I was talking to Steve about this the other day, and he said it was just bizarre, right? They were sort of like, who is this guy, right? Why does he want to come on? Like, what kind of psycho is this? But, it worked out all right. And Game Punchers worked out really well because once I got in there, the 3 of us were working pretty well. It went really regular for like a good few years, right? It was good. The momentum was excellent. And then at the same time, it's that sort of thing where you throw out all the seeds and everything starts to germinate all at once. Because I had sort of thrown my hat into the ring for the OC podcast as well, because there was the point where
we were looking for hosts, and so you threw your hat in the ring. But I love you to death, Fraser. So I always welcome you on the show. You are, as Robin pointed out, you are good in podcasts. You have talent to do it. So to me, I was always like, when you threw your hat in the ring, I was like, yeah, you can come on the show. Come on. And then Slowly but surely,
it was just because I think at the same, it was struggling a bit when I think you guys were doing it on the Tuesday night, right? And then I can remember the time when I was like, I was in a hotel somewhere. I was away on business, and I was listening to an episode, and it was like there were only two of you on the
two people.
The show.
That's right. It was sad. It did. Yeah, it was a bit sad. Yeah.
And I was like, what? It's it's just, to me, it was just a waste, right? There was. So, but it's just the way it is. Like I know Mike's. We've talked about this with Mike before, and he was struggling a bit to do Tuesday. Whatever. It's like things change and whatever, and it's worked out nice. I mean, it's unbelievable that the OC has kept this going like regular, like not skipping a beat. To get to 500 is just staggering.
What is it? Christmas and EGX is the only.
Right. Even with EGX, we still put an episode out. It's just Christmas we've seen.
Mark's here!
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, sorry. I thought you knew I was here.
yeah, that's right. EGX. Yeah,
and
that's
even
right.
when we didn't have a full team, one of us tries to put out, I put a solo show out once, because I didn't want us to miss the consistency.
Mark's an overachiever.
Yes.
Yeah, see, like the enthusiasm is amongst the.
Well,
the
Fraser,
right now,
I'm quite sure you're more than welcome to come and still host. Your seat is still there on it, definitely. There's still your name plaque is not being erased completely.
No. I think one of my favorite moments with Fraser's departure, because Fraser, you kind of just had this moment where you were just like,
I've done too much.
Yeah. I've done too much. I need to step away.
Delete
and
my
so
Twitter.
You went cold turkey.
He
like you just
PUBG.
Yeah.
PUBG. That was it. PUBG was a killer.
Fraser Moore's left.
Yeah. By the way, Fraser, damn you for I blame you for PUBG, in a good way. I resisted PUBG the entire time you were talking about it. You would like sing the praises of this game and how great it was. Now it's like it can't be that good. It can't be that good.
It is.
And granted, I know I play it primarily on the Xbox, which I know is the inferior version to the PC, but dear God, that game is cracked to me. It just straight up is.
I know. I've already played about 4 hours today.
Oh, great.
Come
on. We got them together.
We played one game yesterday together, and then I'm like, all right, one more.
Yeah, just one more.
Right?
Yeah,
one more.
Yeah, no,
it is.
Look, it's hard to do something so regular, and we all, yeah, I think I got a bit burned out. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all.
It happens.
I was watching a bit of the stream with Mike this morning. Are you into this apple throwing thing at the beginning of the game now? He played apples. Apples, throwing apples.
On Sandhawk.
Pumpkins, yeah, on Sandhawk, yeah, you could throw apples. Yeah, we were bowling apples earlier on, about half an hour ago.
Hold on. Hey, the plaque's just been deleted.
So
Sorry.
how much praise? Because I don't know if there's any, like, you just tell me on the sly, everyone. Like, has Greg been getting enough praise for his for what he does? Do I need to add to it? No, stop.
No.
Do I need to add to it, or has he got enough? All right.
He's had a lot.
No.
Yeah, thanks.
Give him more. Give him more. He deserves it.
Bow down. He deserves it, man. I mean, he's old. He won't remember later on anyway. So
that's partly true.
Yeah. As long as you leave him on a happy note, he won't remember what you say earlier on. So.
No, it's amazing, and I suppose my question for you, Greg, is just how do you I feel like we just participate, in these things, but I don't know. Do you ever sit back and just go, holy smokes, this is something that I've been involved with from the start, and it must be pretty mind blowing, right?
It's funny. The episode numbers don't really faze me. Like, I mean, we were coming up to 500. I'm like, that's just 500. So the gravity of it all.
Though.
It is a big number. It is. I think when I start to think back to the early days and realize just how long ago that was, that's when it truly becomes like, wow, we've been doing this for a long time. And I say we because I include everybody into this. It's been, as much as I know I've been, quote unquote, the anchor to it, it has been such a collaboration of friends, good friends that I have made so many friends to the show. So that's where I get a little choked up, and I'm like, holy crap, I cannot believe all the people I've met through the podcast.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is totally amazing. And one of my favorite things with you, Fraser, by the way, is when we would podcast, you would hold me accountable for so much stuff, and I loved it. We would get in these debates, and we'd have these back and forths, and I always think back to those times, and that's one of the things I loved about you is you were not afraid to kind of just throw your thumb in my face and be like, nope, let's talk about this. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it makes it. Well, that's like treating you like a proper friend, right? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
See, Fraser won't get on with Red Dead Redemption 2 at all. It will not be his thing because he'll have to follow.
I am playing it, right?
You'll have to follow the story. You'll not be able to jump forward. The story, too much talking.
Mark, it's brutal.
God, no.
Yeah, that's where
so boring.
Oh,
I know,
dear.
But I've been reading like Seth. I saw Seth McNitt was posting up. No, that's Boss. He's an old friend of the Boss Wave.
Yeah,
right.
He, and lots of people have said, you got to get over this hump. Even Steve said it on Game Punches last week, which I'm sure when we finally get around to releasing it, you can hear him say it. That there is
Christmas episode.
Just get over this hump of like 3 or 4 hours of digging into. Sorry, hang on. My daughter's. Can you hear that? My daughter's got a slime maker. Can you just?
The slime maker.
Nice.
Oh, God, slime. Who's got kids of slime?
Of course, we got slime here, but I don't know we have a maker.
Oh God!
I tell you what, my bathroom's got slime all over it though. But anyway, and not my slime.
No.
The roof.
Poor Phil.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so I just got to get over this hump, and apparently, if I can just get the mindset right, there's supposed to be a fantastic game there, right? And just get. I think he said, you got to go the pace. Once you work out the pace of the game, it'll be brilliant. So I'm just trying to.
I think you have to get. You have to accept the slower pace. Once you come to grips with that and you accept the fact that it is a slower paced game, it really blossoms. But up until then, I think a lot of people are fighting with it because you're wanting it to, be kind of like, a lot of other games out there that are going to be faster paced. They're going to push you forward much quicker than this game ever will.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So Fraser, just when I see you drinking your coffee, tea, toy, something. I never contacted you about this because I felt so bad, and I seem to have this habit because I've done this with a few of my favorite things. So I have a mug that I have my coffee, the first cup of coffee, and Judith has one as well. Every morning, it has a nice weight to it. It's not just any mug from the cupboard. There's a certain one that just feels just right in your hand to get your day started. And that mug was the mug that you sent me.
Diamond Dogs.
And I loved that Diamond Dogs mug. I loved that with all my heart because it was not too big, not too small. It had a nice weight. The handle was a good size. It wasn't too thick.
You make a very good point about mugs. See, this mug here, like this is where is it? This is a good size mug.
Yes.
It holds just the right amount of tea.
Yeah.
It's solid enough. It's not mamby-pamby. It's like,
not black black inside doesn't taste black inside is wrong because it doesn't taste right. So
you go for the bigger mugs, then you is it too much tea? Then is it getting cold by the end?
Yeah. Exactly.
Smaller mugs with thinner walls. No, it's fine.
And this is what I miss. Fraser, right there. And it always started with the comments of, you make a good point. And then it goes into a diatribe about whatever we're talking about.
For fuck's sake, this is all about me. Christ.
It is a good point.
The mug broke.
Oh, no.
And I've been broken-hearted.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't need to tell me that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, look, now I can see Greg. Now I can see Greg.
Diatribe. This is my mug broke. I'm not looking for a new one. I found an R2D2 mug which has a similar heft to it, but I missed my Diamond Dogs mug because
that's all right. As long as you got some good slurps out of it.
I did. I sucked your mug off every morning.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta watch. What's the delay? I just wait for the delay on this to see my wife's reaction.
Yeah. There's a good 10-second delay, I think.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh.
I missed that.
Fraser
Oh, there's
Morris.
Kim. Now, see, I've thrown my Skype out now so I can see Kim's laughing. Oh, Kim's looking wonderful, Kim.
She looks great, doesn't she?
Kim does look great.
I
miss you too. Yeah, you're looking very radiant, and there's some good old
Thank
curtains.
you
This
very
is the
much.
house.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking nice back there. Good.
Oh, there you go.
Just stay on Kim. If no one else could talk, we'll just stay on Kim.
No.
That'd be very nice. Thank you.
Exactly. No, Fraser. Really though, thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for just all that you do. I mean, you also were an inspiration. You have taken the mantle of podcasting. You're a natural at it.
If
you
you'd like
really
to
are.
hear that natural podcasting, then check out GamePunchers.com.
Yes. Christmas episode coming soon, right?
From last year, might get uploaded. Yes. Yeah. No, it's a pleasure, Greg. I thoroughly. I'm not even going to say I thoroughly enjoyed my time. That would be wrong to put it in the past tense. I thoroughly enjoy our time that we have going on. The only thing you know what? I missed a few of you guys for the Extra Life yesterday. I know Mike was on there, and Gary. I'm not sure who Hardly Dan was on there.
Dan was
but it
playing
seemed a little
yesterday.
bit disjointed. I didn't.
Gary was playing.
Well, this year,
But Greg going
a
next
few
week,
of us
right?
Yeah.
are doing it on different dates. Yeah, I might be next week doing mine.
Yeah. Okay. So, good. Hopefully, we'll catch up next week and we can get some
PUBG,
multiplayer
baby.
madness. You know what? You know what? And just a piece of advice: if you guys do have ideas for games that you're classics to fire up, just send it. Perhaps drop a reminder so that we can get them loaded up. Because, if I haven't got Gears loaded up or whatever the flavor of the month is.
Right.
Probably
We
Forza,
don't want
isn't
it
it?
to be
Yeah, Forza Horizon 4.
Hey,
Forza
if you
Horizon
download
4.
a 100 gig game right now, please.
Yes, that's right.
Will
Yeah.
take a little while. No, we
play,
definitely will.
We should play. What's that poker game?
Oh,
Prominence.
No,
Prominence
it's the
Poker?
old one.
No.
Full House.
Oh yeah.
Full
360 one.
360.
Full House.
That was just
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Those were good times. That was that. Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
I think last year poker was the game that got me through the final bits of Extra Life. So that might actually have to be played.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. All right, Fraser. We can find you.
Is that Nick in the background?
It's
it
Robin
is,
and
but
his sound
through
effects.
Memorex.
Robin's got
Oh.
sound
Yeah.
effects now.
I was going to say,
Gary.
thank you very much for that.
He just chaps my hide.
You'll have to send my love to Nick. We missed her
We will
today.
do so.
I think you just did.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We do have a speak pack for later on.
Yeah. But most importantly, Fraser, right now, we could find you back on Game Punchers, ish.
Ish.
Do you have a gamer tag out there you want to get out there in case people want to game with you on PC, Steam, something like that?
No, not really.
All right.
Invite.
If you want to
only.
game with Fraser Morris,
Invite only.
Good luck.
because-
All my friends are here. You guys
Yeah,
all know
no.
where I am.
no, but we can find you on Twitter, I think.
On Twitter, you can find me at Fraser Moo. Drop me a line if you fancy getting involved in some PUBG action or whatever we might be up to. For sure. And I'll give a shout out as well to Baron von Glauer and RCGC in the chat there because they're all my. I'm sitting here thinking, well, there's no, I see the Canadian flag is still in the middle, right on the back.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
like,
still
that's
there.
Yeah,
It's
it's
still
like,
there.
there's.
We did
you know.
debate taking it out, but we've got.
But look, there's
Sarah
quite.
and-
We talked about it.
Yeah,
Nice.
we've got the quite the Canadian representation going on here.
Absolutely.
Right?
The
So,
seed is still there.
yeah, it's all good. All right. Well, as a Canadian, I'm signing off. We're all going off to blaze up and get out of here, right?
Sounds like a plan.
Go do some curling, man.
I'm going
all
curling
the,
tonight,
Yes.
all the best to
Curling, oh my
Grace,
God.
please. To Grace,
Yes, of
and
course.
we'll see you soon. I hope.
Yes. Thank you very much, guys. Love you long time.
Thanks, Fraser.
Oh, bye.
Just
Yada. Thank fuck he's gone. Oh shit. He got that. Yeah.
You just hear that in 5 minutes.
At this point, I think maybe we play some of these speak pipes.
Yeah.
That sound about right. Let's go through and do that.
Do you like Viva Pinata?
We've got one from our very own Nicole. So here we go.
Hey everybody, happy show 500. I can't believe we've made it this far. It's been an amazing trip. Greg, congratulations. 500 shows is definitely momentous. I just wanted to say that my favorite episode, the only one that really comes to mind is poor Robin. Oh, and I love you, Robin. You know I love you. But when you kept knocking shit over and knocked over the mic and just were so frazzled, it was absolutely hilarious. Hilarious enough that we actually made a t-shirt that Mark actually owns. So anyway, I'm really sorry I can't be there, guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat and to all of you that are calling in and those of you that are hosting. I'm missing you guys today, but I'm so proud of everything that we've all done as one big family and community. Shout out to everyone that is listening, and we thank you very much. Love everybody. Y'all have an absolutely fabulous day.
So this is a prime time for me to actually talk about Nicole. So speaking of, I was talking earlier about how I was proud to see the team grow. Nicole is one of those individuals that really took on some roles, in particular hosting, that she, for the longest time, was like, nope, I'm not going to host, I'm not going to host. And then it finally came to a point where we're like, no, we need somebody to step up and host. Mark, I think you were still kind of learning the back end and hosting. And for those that don't know, we have someone usually dedicated to trying to run the back end of the show. The sound effects, the transitions. Most of the time, when Mark's doing it, it all works perfectly fine.
Please say back end again. Please say it again.
And then when Robin and I are running the back end, it's a little loose. It's a little out of control, dirty often. So anyway, but most importantly, it's difficult to do that.
Yeah, like nothing's happened tonight at all. Yeah,
but it's dirty. It's dirty. It's hard. It's hard to do that all and host. And so Nicole stepped up and took on hosting, and she did great, and she's done it since then. And we still have hope that Kim at some point is going to host. Gary at some point might stay on the show long enough to host the podcast.
You never know.
Maybe. And Phil, absolutely. I think you are a natural as well. I mean, you hosted your own podcast before, and you also have that radio tones. But yeah, so Nicole, she really has blossomed, and then she took on the trivia stuff and created kind of her own trivia contest, which, I had no idea what she was going to create, and it turned out fantastic. So she's really grown with the show. So again, just keeping some praise on her. Thank you, Nicole. When you hear this, we really do appreciate all the contributions you've been making to the show.
Yep.
Now, get back on the show when you can. And,
play the sound effect, Mark. Go on, play it.
And do it. Whatever one you want.
Shake. You wanna pick?
I deleted that.
Yeah.
Really
I got death threats. I deleted that. Yeah, you've still got it, but I ain't got it anymore. I didn't play that anymore.
On fear of death. We wouldn't do that to you, Nicole. We wouldn't do that to you.
It really was getting to the point she was going to actually kill Mark.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. Sometimes things just, you even though they're fun and in jest, you hear your own voice saying it. Like the Victory Chief stuff, for the longest time, when Mark made that stupid sound effect, I kind of hated him for it. Because I was like, that's horrible. Now I totally embrace it. Absolutely. Anyway, all right, next speed pipe. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if it's in the shared folder online, but it isn't. Anyway, so yeah, this one's from Jason Johnson, who was going to be on the show tonight as a caller, but he got his days mixed up and he thought it was yesterday for some reason on Extra Life Day. So sadly he couldn't make it tonight, so he sent this instead.
Hey, Overseas Connection crew. I was going to do call in, but I thought the show was on Saturday instead of Sunday. And so I have a prior engagement on Sunday I have to be at. So I apologize for that, but I want to wish you happy 500 shows. I hope you have a great show, which I know you will. And yeah, Uncle Greg, keep at it, as well as you two, Bongo, and Mark and everybody. I love hearing you guys every week. Listen to you at the gym. So you guys have a good one. And thanks for letting me be a part of the show and giving you trivia for all those years. I really appreciate it. All right, peace out.
There's a lot of birds where he is.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out. I heard the birds. It was like a kind of. Yeah. It's like a puzzle. Where was Jason Johnson in the world? You heard the birds chirping. You heard some squeaking. Sounded like a door shutting.
Yeah.
Possibly a car door. But I didn't hear any bongs, so I don't know.
No, I think he was in the woods burying his latest victim, and he was just on the way. There was a crunchy thing over the car park. Yeah, go to the gym. Yeah, I'm in the gym. Yeah, listen to you in the gym. Yeah,
that's my
I used to imagine that.
Yeah, with the birds tweeting and the dead bodies. Jason, thank you so much for that call. Jason Johnson, by the way, for those that don't know, for the longest time, Jason ran podcast trivia for us. He dedicated his own time to just on a weekly basis send us in multiple choice Nintendo questions. Exactly.
They were fantastic. They were evil, some of them, but really good.
Oh yeah. But he was so good at it, and he just did it of his own free accord, and we really appreciate it, Jason. All the time you put into that. You are part of this team, by the way, Jason. So 500 is part of your own achievement as well. So thank you for that, very much so. And we look forward to entertaining you at the gym or burying bodies, whatever you're doing. Yeah. And we also look forward to hearing from you and maybe even gaming once in a while, possibly more trivia, who knows, down the road. But either way, thank you for that. Next.
Cool. Well, I think Darren Hilton, do you want to try and get Darren there and get him on call? I think Darren's in work and he wanted to chat.
Oh, excellent.
So Darren, if you don't know Darren, and you might know Darren that well, Greg, you haven't gamed with him yet, but Darren appeared at EGX not this year, but last year for the first time, had never been any community events whatsoever, and appeared at our Burritos Night, and has been a really active part of the community ever since. Great lad, great fun, and he wanted to come on and just say hello. So it's and he's been a long time listener. So in a minute or two we'll hopefully get him on too.
This year's EGX first time I've properly met Darren, and like Robin says, he's a great guy. We had a lot of laughs. He was trying to keep up to Robin with the cocktails. Hey Darren.
Oh.
Hey buddy.
How is everyone? Congratulations.
Yeah.
You're good. Thanks for joining, Darren.
Where's Stu, Duke, and Chinny? Who are you lot?
We've
had Chinny on. We put him for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've got bad news for you. The Veteran Gamers actually had their last episode tonight.
Yeah,
they're no longer podcasting.
They imploded. So Darren, you're in work. I know you don't have too much time, but the last time that we were in close physical contact, one of the last things I remember you saying to me was, "You bastard, you broke me."
Yeah, you ruined me. You ruined me.
Yeah, we were very, very drunk that night in Birmingham at EGX.
The Saturday night when you came back and brought 2 pints each.
Double down.
I thought, okay, young man, challenge accepted. That's the last thing I remember.
Yeah, no, it was the Sambucas at the bar that you started.
Oh, the banana Sambucas.
Banana Sambucas, dear God, you hard man.
I don't remember that. Can't have been me.
So you've been listening to the show a long time, Darren.
A few years. Yeah, a few years. Yeah. 3, 4, 5 years, maybe. I think.
Wow, goodness me, it goes in so quick, so quick, so quick.
Yeah.
Sorry. You do very well. It's a great podcast. It really is. It keeps me going at work.
Oh, that makes me happy to hear. You know, it's funny. I always like to hear. I like to hear feedback.
I've never used Skype before.
Bless him. Switch your camera on.
Hello.
There you go.
Right, yeah, look, Darren, I am going to let you go here, and because your line isn't great. It was lovely having a quick chat with you, and God knows, maybe we'll get you on a solid mic someday. But thanks.
Look forward to that, and congratulations, folks. It genuinely is a great podcast. You've done really well.
Thank you very much, Darren. Very much appreciated. And yes, we will get you on. And in future EGX, avoid drinking with Bongo. Just saying.
Definitely.
No.
It was all Bongo's fault. It was all Bongo's fault. I'm taking zero responsibility.
No,
it usually is Bongo's fault.
As it should be.
That Empire, that Matthew fella, you know, he came out of a shell that night too.
Yeah, there were a few, weren't there?
Hey, look, if you take me to the Irish club, what the hell do you expect?
And thank Josh for looking after us both.
Oh, dear, my son. I'm sorry, Joshua. All right, buddy. Catch up with you soon. See ya.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks, Darren. All right. Let's.
We've lost Gary as well. Gary was going to have to go anyway, but when Darren connected his Skype for us, so he's said his goodbyes and said congrats everyone for our 500th show. So yeah, he's going to see us next time.
Cool.
Well, the unfortunate part was I was actually just going to ping into Gary and ask him a few questions, but since he's gone, I in turn will start with Phil. Phil, I know you've kind of been sitting back. It's been a little quiet, you know, but I wanted to just kind of check in with you. You know, you're you know, outside of Gary, who's truly the newbie. You're one of the newest members of the podcast, but I know you've been part of this community for a long time. So I just kind of want to take in, you know, what are some of your fond memories? It could be podcast related or just community related. I don't care.
It's mainly been about community over the years. You know, meeting, being lucky enough to meet some of you guys, and actually, it was this podcast that actually encouraged me to do virtual pizza. So listening to you guys, yeah, it's been part of my life for, well, since pretty much must have been back probably around in the 20s, episode wise, and I've been listening to not the 1920s. That feels like that. I've been listening for a long time. So actually hearing your voices more than, you know, a lot of my friends locally. So it's been a huge benefit to my social life and gaming life, and it's been fantastic. Unfortunately, you know, you also get to meet people like Robin, but you know.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. There's unfortunately
Robin's
people you do have to put up. Yeah, no, totally. Nice guy. No, Phil, you know, it's funny. I remember you putting together Virtual Pizza, and the first episode I listened to, I was like, holy crap, this is a really good show.
It was high quality, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, high quality, fantastic. But yeah, I mean, but it was a production. I mean, that was back in the day when people were saying, you know, I think we constantly had team members saying we should be editing the podcast, and I was like, I have no business. I was like, no, I don't want to edit the podcast. It's just natural. All the gaffes, all the, you know, whatever screw ups we do, they stay in the podcast. That's, you know, that was me more or less saying I don't have time to edit the podcast. But you put forward this really high polished podcast, and it was not just, it was almost like listening to an audiobook. And that's really kind of the way I equated out Virtual Pizza. It just had this this pace and this professionalism to it. And it made me stop and kind of think about our podcast. I was like, yeah, we really need to step our game up. So
no, thank you.
We'll start next week.
Yes, exactly.
It never happened, did it, Greg?
But to think now that we have you on the show, it's good.
And never say never. It may return in some form or another at some point.
Right. This is code word for Phil hates the way we run the show.
I've still got my invitation.
Now we're losing Phil, you know.
I'm not giving up. I've still got my invitational request on WhatsApp, so I'm not giving up.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that pissed me off most about Virtual Pizza is because I freaking love pizza. It's like my favorite fast food, whatever you want to call it. And so every time I would see, and I say see because you didn't just have the name, but you had the icon. It was like a pepperoni slice of the icon, and it just made me want pizza every time. It's like, come on.
Yeah, but they like mushroom pizza. I think, in fact, he only likes mushroom pizza now.
I know. I know.
Would that logo change? Would the logo change? Would it still have pepperoni on it now?
As I say, it'll come back in another form.
Virtual vegan.
Yeah, dear. Yeah, funny. There was a whole pile of stuff on the news over the last week or two about why are vegans hated so much in the UK. Why do people hate vegans? Yeah, not that we don't hate vegans. No,
just some.
No.
Yeah, I hold no ill will towards the vegan.
Just
like I'm referred to.
Up there with Jehovah's Witnesses at my door. Yes.
Well, you know what it is. So okay, we're gonna sidetrack. You make a good point. See, I'm gonna pull my Fraser right now. I think the thing about the vegan bit is that, unlike Phil, you are actually really good about your veganism. And that is, it's your lifestyle. It's what you've chosen to do. You don't
try to force yourself down my mouth.
Well, yeah. That just no, just wrong.
Dude,
no.
Stop.
But no, I mean, we give you so much crap on the show, and in the chats.
Don't check the screen, Phil.
Yeah, don't look at the screen, Phil. Don't look at the screen. But we give you a lot of stick over being vegan, but you take it all in stride. You don't try to force your opinions, but I think a lot of other vegans out in the world tend to be a little more vocal, in like they're judgmental towards people that aren't vegan, and I think that's what kind of gives them a bit of a bad name.
And I'll remember that when I attend all of your funerals.
We are sending you a package of bacon as we speak.
It's a personal lifestyle choice, and I'm not about to shove it down anyone's throat, even though Robin keeps asking.
Just
whether it's bacon or sausage or.
Do not sleep with him.
Bratwurst, please.
Well, I'll make it fair and equal. I'll show some cooking some tofu now.
Phil, any fond memories again on the podcasting front? Anything that sticks out at you other than what's happening right now?
Anything that sticks out.
This is what usually happens in the podcast.
She's putting salt and pepper on it now. I don't think salt and pepper's going to make that taste any fucking better, love.
Oh, dear.
Moments like this.
These are the priceless moments. I do admit this is what keeps me going with the podcast.
Oh,
it's the shared laughs, and it's just being able to bring people into our stupid, ridiculous little circle of friends and share the jokes. It's fantastic. But no, Phil, thank you. Again, for being part of the team, being here, contributing. It does mean a lot.
Thank you. Thanks for asking.
No. Hey, happy you said yes. That's all I'm saying.
You had me at hello.
Yes. Kim, let's talk about you now, my dear.
Talk and say yes.
Just say yes. Kim.
Oh God.
Any fond memories for you? You are you're kind of a veteran now. You've been doing this for a while.
I know, and that shocks me because we got to talking about this 500 episodes, and I'm like, how long have I been here? So I got to looking back, and I think it's like close to 3 years now. So, which just shocks the shit out of me, to be honest. But
you replaced Shiny, didn't you? So I think he did about a year with us. So yeah, you'd have been about what, episode 320ish onwards? Can't remember.
Somewhere in there,
it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I think that was a big thing for me because I personally don't think I have the podcast thing down at all. So, because we did the Lousy Gaming podcast, one of the mini podcasts that Gary started and failed on, and whatever. Love you, Gary. But and I don't know. I didn't think I had the podcast bug. I didn't think I sounded good. I didn't really like it, and yada yada yada. And then Mark and Nicole would come over, and they're like, "Hey, you want to be on a podcast?"
Yeah, you joined our B team. Yeah, but that's when we had an A team and a B team.
Yeah, and I was like, "Are you serious?" They're like, "Oh yeah, sure. We want you on here. Is that okay?" And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't really like doing the last podcast, but I knew you guys. I gamed with you guys. I knew a lot of you from Twitter, and you guys are, and Nicole was here, and of course she's my best friend ever. So I thought, well, okay, if we'll try it, and if you guys hate me, you can always tell me, this isn't working. We'll send you out the door, whatever.
We have, Kim. We've told you so many times.
Try to keep ignoring it. I don't want to leave. I love you all.
But you have changed so much, Kim. You've improved so much because them early days, you gave a lot of one-word answers, didn't you, Greg? Remember?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I think
we can't shut you up now.
Right.
Favorite moments. I think early on. And it was, I think, a podcast with you, me, and Mark. I mean, it was a small crew. We didn't have everybody there, and I was like trying to get you guys to talk about games. And you both were relatively kind of new on it, and so it was like, so what'd you think of the game? I liked it. And I'm just like, oh, this is not good. This is not good.
What the hell have we done?
No. It was just kind of one of those feeling out processes of figuring out how to get you to talk.
Exactly.
And then probably two other favorite moments I'm going to share because they stick out. So one, it was, I think, possibly about 10 weeks in a row where we were talking to you about what game you played, and it was Gems of War.
Gems of War.
And it was always Gems of War. And I would do my best any way possible to make it sound interesting and find out some nuanced way to it. And so that was really just a funny moment. And there's nothing wrong with Gems of War, by the way.
No.
But it was one of those
just
funny
while
moments.
we're still on about Gems of War, the best thing is when I did the audio quiz, she didn't get it right.
You got it wrong.
Yes.
Gems of War, she
Yes.
didn't get it.
Oh no, God.
But I
No,
think
it's a raccoon. It's the killing the raccoon.
Absolute favorite moment was Kim describing how she murdered a family of raccoons in
the
her
roof
ceiling.
space. Yeah.
With a shotgun.
Only one.
With a shotgun.
Well,
But it was like,
it's
I mean, if you
favorites.
think about that description, if you go back to that description she gave of the raccoon in the ceiling, it was almost like an episode from Aliens. I mean, it was up in the ceiling, and she's shooting it out of the ceiling.
Well, actually, it fell out of the ceiling, but all right.
That week after, Greg, we made up some adverts for Variant Hunter 3, didn't we?
Yes.
With a raccoon with a sight crosshairs with Kim there with a shotgun.
Oh, you guys.
No, talk more about aliens again. Sorry, talk more.
I managed to get
Aliens, the movie, is a fantastic movie. Aliens Colonial
It looks like a movie, doesn't it? Yeah.
is an abomination that needs to be buried out in the New Mexico desert.
I didn't hear that. No. No.
Anyway, Kim, thank you for signing up into this podcast and being part of it. You absolutely have also stepped your game up and been a delight to podcast with. So it really means a lot to me that you stuck it out with us. And that you actually gave Gary the middle finger and said, I'm going to go podcast with these guys because they're more fun.
Well, he did dump me.
Take that,
so, I mean,
Gary.
Yeah, and thanks for having me, and hopefully I'll be around for another 500. So, because who would have thought a girl from the boonies of Missouri would know people from all over the world? So it's neat. So
yes, I think that sums it up perfectly. It's neat.
Indeed.
I love you guys.
We love you back. All right. I think we can maybe put a bow on this one, unless there's anything we've missed. But I know it's late, so let's try and wrap this up.
I've discovered that my keyboard has a USB socket in it today, so that's a thing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. My mouse cable always stretched a lot, and now I've discovered there's a USB socket here. It's made such a difference to my life tonight. I keep on looking at it going, wow, I've got so much cable on my mouse now. It's brilliant. I wish you could share this moment with you, but
God damn it!
On that note, hey, if you want to learn more about this podcast crew, feel free to join every Sunday. I was going to say Saturday, Sundays. We
Tuesdays,
podcast
sometimes.
Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Who knows? We podcast mostly on Sundays, though, at 9 p.m. in the UK, 1 p.m. on the West Coast, 4 p.m. on the East Coast. I hate you, Robin, for doing that if you did that. We are on twitch.tv /
Fucking Windows 98!
Mixer.com / OC Podcast. And youtube.com / Overseas Connection Podcast, because somebody stole our stupid name. We've got clubs. We've got OC Podcast Club on Xbox One. We've got OC Podcast Community on PS4. We have OC Podcast Group on Steam. I suppose we could talk about Discord because somebody thinks it's still the future. We do have a podcast server on Discord. Check us out there. Why we have a Destiny 2 clan even. So look, if you want to podcast with us and game with us, not podcast with us, but game with us.
Wednesday evenings.
I need a drink. I really need a drink at this point. Yes.
I think Robin needs to share. I'm just saying.
I know. iTunes reviews, Stitcher reviews, get them in there. Probably a 1-star at this point, but give us a review.
Better than no stars.
And most importantly, you're now going to listen to one of my favorite bits of audio that has ever been created for this podcast.
You all have a victory's achieved. Victory's achieved. You have one. A victory's achieved.
You mean that one, Greg?
So I need
exactly.
There we go.
You like us. We like you. See where I'm going with this? Follow us on Twitter at OC_podcast. Check us out on Facebook, fb.ocpod.com, or email us, podcast@ocpod.com. We'd love to hear from you.
I am Groot.
Very well done. All right.
Hell, Greg, 500 shows.
Right?
You have jeans on, no shorts, no tank top. You've changed, man. You've changed.
I know.
Grown up.
It's amazing.
And your ears have got smaller too.
No, they haven't.
Because that's why I took your headphones at the beginning of the show, you know. They shrunk up and they like pulling your headphones apart.
I love you, Rob.
I love you too.
And I mean that. I love you, Mark. I love you, Phil. I love you, Kim. Gary, not so much. Nicole, absolutely love you. And Fraser.
And Richard.
Christopher Matthew. Richard Primrose. Richard Webster. Mike Chin. Got love for all of you guys. It's a family. It's a community. It's a family. And it's freaking awesome.
Big
hug.
I wondered what he was doing there for a minute. I got a little
yeah, I thought he was going to give the kiss, but no, we got the hug. Either way, no, seriously, thank you guys. Thank you to the listeners, because really, I know we say it, and I know sometimes it feels disingenuous. We just say it to say it, but
well, that's why we do this.
I just saw the screen flash with the picture of Mark on there. That was hysterical. We do this because we enjoy our time with our friends, and you all are our friends. So thank you. And to new listeners, you will become our friends as well. It's one big happy family. It's like the Brady Bunch, except for better. Indeed. So, that being said, Mark,
Oh, wish you'd
take care of your wife. We love her dearly. Get well, Jenny. And Lisa.
She might be home tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
Good. Yep. Phil, well wishes for Lisa as well. I know she has the operation still
tomorrow.
Yep.
Luck, buddy.
So,
yep.
Cheers.
Well wishes to all.
Goodness, big day tomorrow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, unless I think we don't need shout outs at this point, let's just wrap it up and say
just one big shout out to you, Greg. Congratulations, 500 shows, massive milestone, and yeah, we love you.
Nice going, boss man.
Yeah. So all joking aside, you're fucking gorgeous, Greg.
Robin, I know.
Good night, everybody.
Right,
thanks for listening.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.